guess what time it is, ladies and gentlemen? It's time for America's favorite game show, Cash for Codes. And our contestants, Fester and Michelle. Fester, welcome to Cash for Codes. Are you ready to play?
Oh, thank you very much. I'm very excited to be here.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Michelle from Tampa, Florida, welcome to Cash for Codes. Are you ready to play?
I'm not even sure what this game entails.
Wait a minute. You
Cash for Codes. How did I end up here?
Hold on. You signed up for the show. You were selected to be a contestant by our producers, and you have no idea what Cash for Codes is all about.
There was a whole screening process.
So you stumbled your way onto Cash for Codes?
There you go.
Okay, well, let's start with Fester.
Yes.
And, of course, you heard yesterday about the crazy air crash in Toronto. Oh, I'm sorry. Whenever I say Toronto, Canadians email me. It's not Toronto. You don't overpronounce the T at the end of Toronto. It's Toronto.
All right,
Yeah.
one Canadian called you out, not like the whole country.
No, I've had numerous Canadians.
What, three?
And then they went on to dine here in the Tampa Bay area and not leave a tip. All right, so
Drive slowly and wear black socks with sandals.
all right, so Cash for Codes, very simple. So on the heels of the Delta crash up in Toronto at the Pearson International Airport, if you could tell me, Fester, what is the airport code for Toronto Pearson International Airport where the Delta regional jet flipped on its roof during landing yesterday? So what is the code for Toronto Pearson?
TRT?
What?
Toronto?
TRT.
Like Tampa's TPA
no.
and that was LAX?
No. That is incorrect. I'm sorry. Michelle, you have a chance to steal this. What is the code, the three-letter code, like Tampa is?
TPA?
Tampa is TPA. That's correct, but that doesn't count.
Yeah.
So what is the code for Toronto's Pearson International Airport?
You might think it's TNT, but I think I know this because we've been there. Is it YZZ or YYZ?
I need you to pick one, please.
YZZ.
Oh, no! That is incorrect. You had it right when you corrected yourself.
Yes.
It is YYZ.
What?
The code for Toronto.
Is that crazy?
How did they get YYZ out of Toronto?
Dude,
and Pearson?
That's the dumbest letters ever.
Right? I know. It should be TNT.
Wait, what's the name of the zipper that always breaks?
Like YYP or
No,
something?
what's the zipper, man? Do you have anything?
It's not the zipper that always breaks. It's the zipper of like jeans everywhere.
The zipper, the big zipper manufacturer. What is the?
They suck, by the way.
Yeah, Michelle doesn't like those zippers, and they're everywhere.
YKZ, I think.
YKZ?
Is that it?
YKZ. But no, Toronto's airport code is YYZ.
Mm-hmm.
Fester, we'll go back to you. Fester, the flight that flipped over, the Delta flight where everybody walked away, unbelievably, everybody walked away. The flight originated in Minneapolis.
Okay.
Can you tell me the airport code for Minneapolis?
There's like two of them. Minneapolis is one of those weird cities where there's like a city next to it. Is it like MST?
MST as in tango?
Well, yeah, because there's Minneapolis and then there's St. Paul right next to it. So ST for the Saint.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That is incorrect. Michelle, you have a chance to steal it. What is the airport code for Minneapolis where the Delta flight originated? What is it, please?
I'm just guessing here. MSP.
MSP is correct. And Michelle, you're the winner. Name that airport code.
Game sucks. This is the dumbest game ever.
Oh, man, how about that flight? Like the news broke in the 2 o'clock hour yesterday. I had laid down for a little nap, wake up, and then all the breaking news is on the cable news channels about this. And then you see the video of the aircraft on its roof. I mean, totally flipped over like a dead bug. Like a cockroach on its back in your garage, or like a palmetto bug, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, damn thing was on its roof.
You don't see that every day.
No, you don't see that every day. And then for everybody to walk away, just truly miraculous. We'll get into more of that a little later on because there's some audio, man. Some of the people that escaped it, one guy's rolling video and you can hear the flight attendant, no video.
Tough crap.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to get this thing on the TikToks.
Yeah, stay on the runway.
I'm going to get this thing on the Instagrams. So there's a couple of audio bites that are truly unbelievable from the incident on the Delta flight. It was, Delta, it was one of the regional jets. It was a CRJ 900, and it was Minneapolis to Toronto, and it was branded as Delta. It was, a flight run by Endeavor Air, but Endeavor is a wholly owned subsidiary of Delta Airlines. So, the whole plane looked like a Delta jet, but truly unbelievable. Michelle.
Yes.
You know what?
Let's not talk about that.
No, what do you mean, let's not talk about it? Michelle got all lasered again yesterday, but not on her face. Look at Michelle's neck. Hey, call her a redneck.
Okay.
Gee, it's a little.
It's just a little.
It's
pink.
a little rosy.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not,
Okay.
It's not terrible.
So you had the neck waddle laser,
Yeah.
the little gobbler,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
I'm going to call Michelle redneck this morning.
Okay.
Well, because Michelle's neck is all red. It's
right.
It's nothing like the bloodied mess on your face, but Michelle had the neck done late yesterday afternoon. And again, it looks like it's going to heal a whole lot quicker. This is that laser profractional treatment that Michelle does. And if you didn't see the face a couple of weeks back, oh my God, it looked like a crime scene. The bloodied video. It's still on my Instagram if you haven't seen it. Certified MJ Radio. Just scroll down a little bit, go to Certified MJ Radio and look for Michelle. Looks like she's murdered on the side of the road.
Yeah, we had a good laugh about that yesterday at the doctor's office.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all
It was
right.
all the talk.
All right, fantastic. So now the neck was done yesterday, and then you moved to the chest.
Oh, yeah, we're doing the chest next.
Chest is next,
Like
and it's like
2 weeks.
It's like right above the top of the boobs, right?
It's called a décolleté.
What is it called?
The décolleté.
Do you know when women get the paper mache décolleté? You know what I'm talking about?
When they cast their bust?
No,
When do they get a paper mache décolleté?
No, it's not, maybe you know what? I'm sorry. It's
paper mache.
No.
Decoupage?
No. I misspoke. It's not paper mache. It's crepe paper. It's when women get the crepe paper.
What are you even saying?
What am I
It's
saying?
like you've got words all like
it's-
word salad going
it's
on over there.
Like just above the cleavage.
Yeah.
If women that have been in the sun a lot.
Yeah.
It's like the skin area above, and it gets all like crepe papery looking.
yeah, it's got a specific name, and he knows exactly what it is.
It's crepe paper chest.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about a procedure where they actually
Yeah.
put,
I
paper
know.
mache and crepe paper on the woman, and I was like, "What are
right.
they doing? Where are they trying
Making, I was with you, like making a bust.
So,
Yeah.
6:09 at the MJ Morning Show.
We'll get there.
So, we'll a little chat about Michelle's neck later on. And you're not going to believe where I was yesterday.
Waiting in the parking lot of the
Yeah,
laser clinic.
I was waiting in the parking lot, but no, there's a lot more to the story.
Okay.
Hold on. So I'll tell that later on. All right, 6:09 at the MJ Morning Show. Just getting rolling. Tuesday morning. By the way, if you missed this yesterday, we were live yesterday. We did a real live, phenomenal show yesterday. And, of course, we're back live again today.
Things still look very good.
104.7 FM, MJ and Michelle, my lovely wife in the house, and Fester. I mentioned yesterday that I was considering bringing the Truth Booth back. Yeah, the famous Truth Booth here on the MJ Morning Show. So we'll discuss details at about 7:45 this morning. A return of the Truth Booth with a twist.
Ooh.
That's like two snaps. What was that thing from In Living Color?
Two snaps and a twist.
Yeah,
Something like
two
that.
snaps and a twist.
It's not quite as funny when you say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not. Who was that? David Allen Greer that did that too? Or was that one of the Wayans? Or was that like Damon Wayans? Or
Yeah.
Two snaps and a twist? Or like Serge. Like Serge from Beverly Hills Cop with a little lemon twist. So the Truth Booth with a little lemon twist. Oh, did you find the In Living Color?
Go without me. Twan. Don't get mad, Twan. Okay.
How long is it going to take to get?
Finally, we have
At the
Die
end.
Harder. What a way to go. 90 minutes with Mr. Bruce Willis. Oh, yes.
Oh,
don't
poor
tip my tongue
Bruce.
with the taste of nuts and honey.
Roll that. Oh, that was funny. Roll that. I remember that one too.
Nuts and honey.
Oh, no, go back.
Bruce Willis. Oh, yes. Don't tempt my tummy with the taste of nuts and honey. You know, the only thing I didn't understand was all the violence in the film, because the title suggested a love story. I second that emotion.
Die Hard.
Still deserves the new and improved two snaps, a twist, and a kiss.
There are two snaps, a twist, and a kiss.
Yeah, that's the new and improved version. Yes.
Oh, man. All right. So the Truth Booth, the return, 7:45 this morning. There's like I said, a little twist. I want to discuss it, and there's a chance that after we discuss, we morph right into the Truth Booth, the updated edition of Truth Booth. So stand by. We'll see what happens at about 7:45 this morning. So there's a woman. Fester, why are you giving faces over to Michelle?
I don't know. Well, she made a face at me, and I only thought it was polite to make a face back. I mean,
I didn't see Michelle make a face at
You
you. I
can't-
saw you making a face at Michelle.
you have a terrible line of sight. You can only see Michelle's bangs from where you sit.
By the way, Michelle has
confess.
said on numerous occasions, man, this studio sucks.
Yeah.
Michelle has complained about the line of sight and she can't see me well. And now you know what I've been complaining about in this damn room since October of 2020. And again, our new studio, it seems to have come to a halt like the funding has run out.
I confess I made a face at Fester, and yes, I'm so sad I can't see your face from across the room.
Oh, yeah.
Not
All
being
right.
able to see MJ clearly is actually the best part of this studio. It's like, ooh, who's that?
Now, I want to
Yeah.
see what you have to say about this.
What?
Just out of curiosity.
Hit me.
A mother extremely allergic to something that we all take for granted.
Oh.
A mother has a rare allergy, and it is excruciating for her to take a...
Shower?
Yes.
I've heard about. Didn't we talk about this once before? There's somebody who's allergic to water.
Yeah. Well,
How can you be allergic to water?
Yeah.
But there's a name for it, and well, let me just. Her name is Kendall Bryce. She's 25 years old, and Kendall has aquagenic urticaria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't say yeah, Michelle, like you're
No, no.
about to have it roll off your tongue.
No, because urticaria is like what Julian has.
Yeah. Julian has a little touch of it, but
His is he's allergic to severe temperature change.
yeah,
So if he is in the heat and then he goes in the cold, or is in the cold and goes into the heat,
he'll
he
get like
has
a little
hives
like
horribly.
Yeah, he'll get some hives, but
yeah. So urticaria, that like I don't know what
right.
scientific why that's
But
added onto this.
Has Julian's urticaria, it's kind of decreased a little bit though, right?
Well, he's in a more moderate like climate now where it's more controlled, so he's not going in and out of like hot and then into air conditioning and then air conditioning and hot. But when the season does change up there, his like the first cold snap, he'll break out in hives. Or if it rains and it's windy, like the rainwater will hit him, and then he'll get like a gust of wind,
Right.
and it chills the water on him.
Yep.
Or his watch. He can't put his watch on in the morning because he breaks out on his arm. If the watch is cold and the cold metal touches his arm, his arm breaks out in hives.
Man, your kid's a freak.
Don't call my kid a freak.
I mean, he is. I mean,
Don't call my kid a freak. Right. So
Yeah. So
Can
that's why I was familiar with the word urticaria
Right.
fester. That's what I was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
so I knew that Michelle was gonna,
Yeah.
zero in on that as soon as I said urticaria.
Yeah.
But this woman, when she gets in the shower,
Yeah. What happened?
the water hitting her is excruciating as far as pain goes.
Yeah.
And that's rough. But when I saw the aquagenic urticaria, I'm like, oh, Julian has a little touch of the urticaria. So if Julian takes like a Benadryl, does that
He can.
that quell the hives?
Yeah. If it's a severe enough outbreak and it's bothersome for maybe an extended period, we'll go ahead and give him some Benadryl.
So Julian is 20. He'll be 21 in July. Will he grow out of the urticaria, or does that stay with you? Like
I think it stays with him.
yeah, I mean, Michelle's busting out urticaria like you're some Scrabble champion or something. Yes, I'd like to put urticaria for 1,000 points.
So this woman, Kendall Bryce, she's 25, and she's got this more rare form of this condition, and it causes her skin to swell and break out whenever she comes in contact with water. So Julian, it's kind of a temperature change, and Julian's situation is somewhat manageable.
Right.
But this woman, she gets in the shower, and just the water hitting her skin, it causes her like excruciating pain and hives, and man, I feel bad for her.
So how does she like bathe and cleanse herself?
She doesn't, and she reeks. No, I
Smell her coming a block away.
So she's also affected by rainwater on very humid days. So, her life, she says, is dictated by the weather. And this doesn't happen to Julian, but she even gets like a burning sensation in her throat when she drinks water.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
gotta suck.
Doesn't everything have water in it? Every liquid?
Yes, our bodies are like 90% water.
So how come she's not dead?
Can you look that up for me? I want to be accurate. What
70%.
No, that's the planet. That's the Earth. The Earth has 70% or so water. All right, so the human body is made up of how much water? It's like 92%, 93% or something. It's some, human body made up of water. What percentage? How much?
Water.
Dude, the
60%.
That's it?
I mean, there's bones and muscle.
That's it?
I was closer.
Yeah.
Son of a, that's it? Well,
90%. What are you thinking? 90%?
Yeah, I mean,
you have a brain,
I mean, Kool-Aid isn't made of 90% water. And you're talking about the human
yes,
body?
it is. Of course, Kool-Aid is made up of 90%.
It's like 89% water and
it's
11% red
Yes,
stuff.
yeah. And flavor.
All right, so I thought the human body was
No.
comprised.
You were wrong.
Yes, I was wrong.
Say it.
I'm wrong.
Very good.
Are
Thank
you
you.
happy? I'm wrong. Anyway, the urticaria lady. Interesting. Hey, we've talked about this in the past, and I'm trying to remember who was it? Remember someone sent us M&Ms that were customized?
Yes, I remember that very well.
Who was it that sent us the customized M&Ms? Do you remember?
It was our dear and loyal listener, Stacy from Largo.
Right. Okay. So that's right. Stacy from Largo.
Yes.
Sent us all customized M&Ms.
I still have the jar at home.
And mine were customized how?
I don't remember because we ate them.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
mine
they were...
said, large rude man on them.
So listen to this.
I
I thought this was funny. So we're familiar with customized M&Ms in the sense that I've never ordered customized M&Ms myself.
But we've been gifted.
We've been gifted. We've received customized M&Ms. And you can do a search and you get on the M&M site and they can transfer an image like with edible food safe dyes. They can imprint like an image, a picture on M&Ms. So listen to this. This woman orders customized M&Ms for her dad's funeral to put the dad's face on the M&Ms, right?
This is a terrible idea.
Well,
so
hold
far.
on. Why is it a terrible idea?
mean,
It's not a terrible
I
idea.
wouldn't want. I mean, usually you get like the little card at the funeral.
All right,
Maybe
so
like
listen,
a passage or a
I've
quick
got-
description.
I've got no problem with this. Apparently, Dad loved M&Ms, so the daughter orders the customized M&Ms with Dad's picture on the M&Ms. The order comes, for the funeral, and I don't know how did they delay the funeral, or did she preload it? Dad's gonna pass soon. Let me get the M&Ms ordered.
Ew.
It's a
Stop.
little creepy.
How much lead time do you need? I
Yeah,
don't
well,
know.
that's essentially what I was trying to say. How much lead time? So the woman orders the M&Ms. She says, I got customized M&Ms for my dad's funeral, and she gets the whole bag, and most of them are Dad.
Right.
But then there are a bunch of them mixed in with two ladies that she doesn't recognize.
So
Oh.
cross contamination.
We got cross-get. So who are these two some other order got mixed up, and she got some random two ladies, sitting next to each other on the M&Ms.
Is the dad gonna mind?
I don't know.
Is he that mad? Yeah, I mean, you can buy a 5-pound bag, MJ,
yeah.
a 5-pound bulk bag of customized M&Ms for $144, $145
That's a lot of money for the customization.
with your face on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can put your face on it, MJ.
You're saying,
Yeah, whatever you want. Whatever saying you want, they can put an image on the M&Ms. And I just thought it was funny that she orders, her dead dad's face on the M&Ms for the funeral, and then just these two random ladies sitting next to each other show up on a bunch of the M&Ms in the batch.
Was he still married? So, does his wife mind? Was it her mother?
I mean,
No. She doesn't. The two ladies were strangers.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, does his wife, was he still married to her mother or to another woman at the time? Does that person mind that he's now being buried with
And
other ladies on the M&Ms?
this is weird. So she posts this on social media, and then people start commenting, "Oh yeah, those are the two ladies that he's hooking up with in heaven."
Okay, see,
No,
I mean,
I'm not making this up. That's not a joke. That's really a comment that somebody made.
rude.
honestly, MJ, how is this not a little funny? I mean, that's pretty sad.
I
right?
thought it was funny that
Yeah.
she gets the funeral M&Ms, all supposed to be Dad's face, and here are a bunch of, who are these random ladies that are mixed in with my dad?
What is she inspecting every single one of them?
I don't know.
I mean,
Well, there were enough that she recognized. How did these ladies get mixed up with my dad?
Is she sprinkling them in the coffin?
It's kind of like an ashes mix-up, you know?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. All right, 6:33, 6:34 now at the MJ Morning Show. When we get back, a delicious dose of early morons in the news. Next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Stand by. And here we go, 6:30, or make it 6:42. 6:42, MJ Morning Show, and it be time for the early morons in the
Calls it Chi-Town.
in Chi-Town. Where have I heard that? I heard that in a movie or something. It's in the song Convoy. That's what Andrew says. You know, we got a great big convoy.
Yeah.
Chi-Town.
Truckers call it. They call L.A. Shaky Town.
Shaky Town. That might have been CB talk in 1974, but I don't know if they do it anymore. So, listener sends me this. This is a great story. A man is facing robbery charges. Why? Allegedly mugged a victim during a Facebook Marketplace meetup in a Chicago police station parking lot.
Oh, God, you can't win.
I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, you know, a lot of police departments, sheriff's offices, they encourage people, if you're going to do a transaction.
Is that right?
Like, oh, yeah. For instance, I've seen the signs, like Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office at some of the district offices, they'll have, I think I've seen like signs in the lot, you know, like a no parking sign on a metal pole, and I think I've seen signs like that, like e-commerce meetup spotter or something. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
You're in the parking lot of a police station. There's a camera on the two or three spots.
You know, it seems intelligent that you do a cash for merch transaction in a police department parking lot. It's probably a safer place to do it than behind a Big Lots. You know,
it literally sounds like the safest thing you can do.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, you're gonna.
Well, the reason I'm kind of shocked is because Julian's doing Facebook Marketplace all the time. And remember, there was one time I think he went to somebody's apartment in New York City and was paying them like $100 for like 200 DVDs or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, you make them come outside. Yeah. You bring this stuff. Like, I was really nervous about it.
Do it on the sidewalk.
Exactly.
Don't go into their apartment. Right. It's like a serial killer movie or something.
Right.
The serial killer that lures the victims in with Facebook Marketplace items and then stabs them and hacks them up.
Right.
Yeah. That's some scary crap. All right, so police departments encourage people
Right.
to do transactions in the parking lot or even going into the lobby and doing a transaction to make it safer for both parties. So this guy is facing robbery charges, allegedly mugged a victim during a Facebook Marketplace meetup in a Chicago police station parking lot, and then it gets better. Then runs into the station house lobby with the stolen merchandise in his underwear.
What?
Runs into the police station.
What was the merchandise that it fit in the drawers?
Philip Shockley, 24, agreed to buy an Audemars Piguet watch for $3,000 from a man through a Facebook listing. Prosecutors say Shockley met the 19-year-old seller in this police district parking lot in Chicago. Meeting at a police station or another public place is a good way for marketplace participants because it reduces the chances of being ripped off. And, yeah, it usually works. But in this case, clearly, well, you'll hear how it ended. When the victim presented the watch to Shockley, first of all, an AP watch, an Audemars Piguet, for $3,000? I mean, was it even a real Audemars Piguet watch? I mean, there's so many counterfeits that are out there. I mean, you got fake Rolexes, fake Pateks. I mean, there's all kinds of, fake watches that are out there. So the victim presents the watch to Shockley for inspection. As they stood in the police station parking lot, Shockley took a fighting stance, like, strikes a pose. Yeah.
Do that again?
Yeah, if you're watching MJTV, everybody was kung fu fight. So the guy takes a fighting stance, reaches into his pants as if he had a weapon, and then pushes the victim twice. Shockley runs away. The victim yelled out to some Chicago cops who were, I guess, in the parking lot or not far away.
Yeah, they don't care.
And the guy says, "He just robbed me. He took my watch." The man screams to officers who are, in the lot or they're, off to the side.
What'd they do?
So Shockley did not get very far. Rather than running from the scene away or jumping into, a getaway vehicle, he runs into the police station lobby. And even more officers were inside to arrest him. What kind of a moron is this? That's why we call it Morons in the News.
Do you want the watch back after it's been, wrapped around his junk?
Crotch watch.
Yeah.
Oh,
the police hand you an evidence bag. I'm like, this is your property, sir.
Yeah. Maybe he put the band around the thing and buckled it up,
maybe. Maybe take a link out. According
to Shockley's arrest report, an officer found then 42 baggies of suspected crack cocaine in his body during the pat-down. So he steals the watch, has 42 little baggies of crack on him. He's in a police station parking lot, then runs into the police station lobby as he's trying to get away with the watch in his crotch. Sergeant discovered another bulge in his underwear through a more thorough search. And then, this guy is insane. After being asked by the sergeant to remove the mysterious bulge from his underwear, Shockley allegedly reached into his drawers and pulled out the white and gold Audemars Piguet watch, studded with white stones.
So what's the lesson here? Don't go to police stations.
No, the lesson is this is the rare oddity. This is the bizarre outcome of you go to a police station to do a secure transaction with a stranger from a social media, listen, even with eBay, people locally on eBay will do live meetups to get their merch. Because if you're on eBay, most people obviously are buying from out of town and the stuff gets shipped. But many times in an eBay ad, it'll say available for local pickup.
Right.
You know?
When I bought my car off of Facebook Marketplace, We met in a parking lot.
Well,
Yeah.
ship my car.
Yeah.
Ship my pants. Ship my car, ship my pants. Anyways, what an idiot. Here's another idiot. This is New Jersey. This is morons in the news at its finest, folks. A New Jersey woman is accused of robbing a bank. She took a plastic, brightly colored water gun and then just spray painted it with black paint.
What?
Yep, and successfully made off with $60,500 in cash.
All right, so a lot of these banks have a no engagement policy. If you even write a handwritten note that this is a robbery, they fork it over and they'll catch you later.
A lot of the banks train their tellers that you just hand it over, you don't resist, even if you think that there's no gun or no bomb or they're making threats. That if you just walk into the bank with just a note, give me all your money.
Right.
That the banks train people to hand it over.
Yeah, we were always told just to hand it over, but we had a kick button underneath where you could set off the alarm, but also I'm trying to think, I worked at two separate banks.
Wasn't there like an activator bill in the drawer?
Yes, there. You always had one in either the 20s or the 50s, I forget now. So it would be under like a clip with a device, and so once you pulled that, it activated the alarm right away, and the police were dispatched.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't even have to push a button. If you just pulled a certain bill out of the drawer, that activated the silent alarm to let the cops know you're getting robbed.
We also had that one, where you see in the movies where it explodes in their faces with the we did have the die packs, but we the tellers, I don't think had that. I think that was like in case they got like further than the head teller maybe had that to throw in the bag.
You worked at two different credit unions in Virginia Beach. You worked for Naval Air Federal Credit Union.
Right.
Are they still around?
No.
So did Navy Federal buy Naval Air?
I don't know. Somebody else absorbed them.
So first you worked for Naval Air Federal Credit Union. Then you worked for Navy Federal Credit Union for many years.
Yeah.
Well, man, how long did you work for Navy Federal? Like for 3 years?
Yeah, like 3 years.
Yeah, many years.
I mean, Michelle's a former bank teller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did I ever tell you the time that my wife got a job at a bank and quit after one day because she set the alarm off?
You know, you know what? You told this story.
Yeah.
You told this story a long time
years
ago.
And years ago.
Yeah.
But
what alarm did she set off?
It was like an AmSouth bank or a bank that's no longer around, right?
Right.
And
wait. AmSouth is no longer around?
I don't think so. I think they got absorbed by BOA.
Yeah.
Yeah. AmSouth is. Yeah. You haven't seen one in a while, have you?
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems that I saw an AmSouth yesterday on Dale Mabry or something.
Parked right next to the Barnett Bank. Yeah, I feel like
oh my gosh.
I still call it the Barnett Bank building in downtown.
Barnett Bank.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
but listen, in the 90s and like
Right,
2000s, I mean, all these banks changing names and getting absorbed and this and that. Anyway.
Wait, so Allison set the alarm off? What did she do?
It was her first day on the job, and they make her do some corporate training, so they put her in an office, right, to do like this computer program or this onboarding program, and she's like tapping her leg, and she's tapping it against the side of the desk, just nervous tapping and just kind of, ADHD, tapping, and then all these squad cars just outside,
oh my God,
lights going off. They walk in, all the cops.
Like that?
Yeah, they come in ready. The officers weren't drawn, but they were ready to draw, looking for something. And the manager's like, "What's up, guys? We got an alarm." And it's like the new hire in the room. And she's like,
Fester's wife trips the silent alarm. Hey, wait, she quit after that?
Yeah, she's like, I can't go back. I was like, go back.
It's an accident.
I'm sure it happens all the time.
She know.
How did she know?
That's funny. It's 6:53 at the MJ Morning Show. But these days, a black spray painted like a cheap little water gun, a little water pistol.
Yeah.
And a teller hands over $60,000 for that. Where did that happen? That was in New Jersey. Sierra Brascom. Yeah, bought a squirt gun and then painted it and then brought it to the TD Bank. Oh, in Princeton. Yeah, she's no Princeton graduate, I'll tell you that.
So they caught her.
Yeah, they caught her, and the video of her is, and she thought she'd put on a COVID mask and everything, and blah, blah, blah. All right, 6:54. So morons in the news on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. When we get back, This happens to a guy in a store, an auto parts store. So well-known auto parts chain. When we get back, this happens to a customer. The manager yells at the customer and says it's all his fault.
Huh.
I mean, all right. I might even take some phone calls on this and see, what you think. Or have you ever been accused of something in a retail establishment? All right, hang on. I'll make the whole story crystal clear of accusation by management of a customer. It's your fault. I mean, wait to hear this. This is insane. And it's next MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Show here on a Tuesday morning. If you missed us yesterday, we were live. We didn't take a pansy day off for President's Day. I mean, you know, Hillsborough and Pinellas had school yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
but those were hurricane makeup days.
But,
Come on.
But listen, sure they were makeup days, but still schools were open and you know life went on. You know, banks were closed. Wall Street was closed yesterday. Post office didn't deliver, but a lot of folks, a lot of people were working yesterday, and a lot of kids went to school yesterday. So, and we were here yesterday. We were like the only morning show in the building. Most of the other morning shows in our building, I think all of them, they took off.
Yeah, it's a corporate holiday.
Yeah, corporate holiday. I mean, our company was all pansy like President's Day, day off.
Whatever.
Hey, tell me if the customer should be blamed for this. You know the old expression, hey, the customer's always right. First of all, I don't subscribe to that. No. Because, listen, if you can, and even if it's the customer's fault and it's nothing like horrifically egregious, you know, a lot of times it's just good business, unless it's, you know, somebody that, unless it's something, I'm trying to put this into perspective. Unless somebody, you know, tries to rip you off or something, someone does something that is really so bad.
So egregious.
Yeah.
In their complaint.
That you just can't let them get away with it.
But like if they destroy something or if they, like your mom used to have that big complaint about when there wasn't a price tag on something and somebody would go, must be free.
Oh, yeah, because my parents own a couple of retail places. But, you know, in most cases, you kind of defer to the customer. And there's a cutoff, though. There's a threshold. That's the word I was looking for. There's a threshold where it's like, no. You're not going to let the customer get away with that. But this is ridiculous. A guy is at AutoZone, and he's picking up a black spray paint can. First of all, I didn't know that AutoZone sold spray paint. But
sure, you touch up your car with a little spray paint.
Oh, that looks good.
Yeah.
You know what, Fester? You've got all that paint peeling on the front right quarter panel of your Cadillac DTS.
I've thought about it.
What year's your car?
2010.
So what's causing all that paint to flake off the front?
It had a minor,
over the wheel well.
It had a minor chip in it.
Right.
Right. And then I took it to a car wash.
Yeah.
And the car wash exacerbated it and kind of started chipping it. And now it's just chipping.
But it's not just chips. It is large chunks.
Oh, okay. I don't give a crap.
Hey, is it still a car?
Yeah, I mean, what
Does
do
it-
you what do you
well,
care?
no,
Does it still get you from place to place?
Yeah.
What I was going to
I
say,
give 0 bleeps.
maybe I'll go to AutoZone and just get some spray paint and just I'll spray paint it for. Does it have to match? Could it just be any color?
It doesn't have to match.
All right.
This is the dumbest question
All
I've
right.
ever heard in my
All right,
life.
so here's the deal. And think about this. Is this a valid reason for an AutoZone manager to flip out on a customer? The customer picks up a can of black spray paint and the can just blows up in their hands. And they're covered in spray paint, their clothing, their hands. It's all over the floor, all over the counter and everything. And the manager then goes off on the customer. What do you do? It's blaming the customer. First of all, how does a spray paint can at AutoZone just blow up in your hands?
I mean, is the pressure so high? It was something wrong in the manufacturing that it was just waiting to get jostled enough?
Why wouldn't it get, jostled enough to explode in shipment? Or what is it that a customer picks up the can and the damn thing just blows up?
I think that's what the manager was asking the customer.
Well,
what did you do to make that happen?
how many cans of spray paint have you purchased in your entire life?
A couple. I mean,
Okay.
not many.
So
5.
I pick up a can of spray paint.
Right.
Any place that sells them. First thing I do.
Yeah, I wasn't an overt, prolific tagger.
Yeah. You weren't
No.
into the graffiti scene back in the day? So first thing I do when I pick up a can of spray paint, it has a little steel ball bearing in there. First thing I'm doing is I'm shaking
to
it.
mix up
Yeah.
the.
I'm just shaking it and shaking it and shaking it.
The paint and the propellant, you got to mix it all up.
And
right?
I'm hearing the click, 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 click of the ball bouncing around.
Yeah.
So maybe that.
It's like a metallic ping pong ball inside of that thing.
Yeah. So maybe that
You
was
know what?
enough.
That's a very satisfying sound.
The guy thought so at the AutoZone.
No, but there's nothing that says he shook it.
That's
just
obviously what happened. I mean, he must have
That's just-
agitated it.
right.
I mean, in the manufacturing process on the truck,
Yeah.
stocking it on the shelf, it never really gets violently jostled
Right.
like
But
I would have done.
I don't know much about the mechanics, the physics of spray paint cans, but how does the damn thing just blow up when the customer just picks it up in the store? I don't understand
Maybe
that.
it had a fault. I mean, he didn't just pick it up. He picked it up, probably played with it for a little bit, brought it up to the counter, and then the slight imperfection in the can, boom.
So the spray paint's all over the place. We were talking about dye packs going off.
Yeah.
And they're funny. So what's the movie we saw recently with the dye pack blew up in the guy's face?
It was Nice Guys with Ryan Gosling
Oh,
and
yeah,
Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an old movie, guys.
Yeah, we
you know.
watched not too long ago. We watched Nice Guys
Yeah.
with it was Russell Crowe, and
Right.
that was a good movie.
It was,
I enjoyed that, and there was a scene.
But the dye pack scene, that's what made me think of it.
Yeah, the dye pack, and so that's what happened to this guy. The can blows up. It looks like he was got exploded with a dye pack, and then it's all over the floor at AutoZone. It's all over the counter, and then the manager goes off on the customer. What the hell did you do? What? And the manager's blaming the customer like he caused the can of spray paint to blow up.
Well, how do we know he didn't, though? You're assuming that the manager was correct. Right? I mean, I would think that the customer did something
Right.
like Fester says to agitate that can to cause it to explode.
Within the normal bounds of manipulating a can of spray paint. I mean, there's obviously a faulty product.
Right. Also, how did it explode? Like punctured or like the
Yeah.
sprayer thing flew off? I don't know.
All right, you ready for some more context?
Yes.
All right. So here's more context. So apparently the customer says that the person in the store, the manager, said to test it out to make sure that it's sprayed right. and then the cap popped off, and it wouldn't stop spraying everywhere.
Okay, so it didn't explode. It just kind of shot out of the cap hole.
It explosively discharged all the contents from the can. Yeah, it didn't explode like a grenade, apparently.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
The term explosive discharge and explode are two very different things. I can show you a difference between an explosive discharge and exploding.
Yeah, but but the manager in this situation, the manager then screaming at the customer, that doesn't seem right. I mean, this guy just walks into the zone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. I mean, the customer gets in the zone, and then he gets yelled at.
I don't know. I'm kind of with the manager on this one. Now he's got this big old paint mess to clean up. How do you clean that up?
But why is it the customer's fault?
Listen,
he's goofing around with the paint. I mean, you know it should work. You take it outside to you buy it.
Spray paint cans don't have a, what'd you call it? Explosive discharge?
Yeah.
Every time the little plastic cap comes off, there's something wrong with the can. It's neither of their faults. He just reacted violently or aggressively toward the customer. I mean,
you know what I'm thinking?
What?
He probably should have gone to. O'Reilly. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Auto Parts. Ow! That's what I'm thinking. Because would they yell at you at O'Reilly?
Probably not. It sounds like a more pleasant experience with that little jingle.
Wait a minute, what's wrong with the AutoZone jingle?
Get in the zone, AutoZone. O'Reilly. Auto Parts.
You're saying O'Reilly sounds happier than AutoZone?
Yeah, O'Reilly sounds hospitable and happy, and AutoZone sounds like they're instructing me to get in the zone.
Get in the zone.
Like a coach.
Shape up.
Hey, bitch, get in the zone!
Yeah, exactly.
That was a little too aggressive, but yes.
You know what? I think I want to go to phones here. We've got time. It's 7:12. I got some time here to grab some calls. Have you ever been yelled at in a store? Have you ever had a manager or a store employee just get up in your business on something? I just thought this would be funny to kind of see where this goes. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047 is how you get in. 800-990-1047. You ever been in a store and something happens and then you get yelled at by store employees or store personnel? Let me grab Doug. I don't know if Doug's calling on that or about the dynamics of spray paint cans, but Doug is in Riverview. Doug, hi. You're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I know what happened basically with that paint can thing.
What happened?
We have to throw people out of the store.
Hold on. Where do you work? Doug, where do you work?
Let's say I'm not for AutoZone.
Oh, wait a minute. So do you work at an auto parts store?
Absolutely.
Okay. But you don't work for AutoZone?
No.
Okay. You work for, do you work for O'Reilly?
It could be. It also could be Advance. I'm not
that's right. Advance Auto Parts.
I mean, right. Do you use your Napa know-how?
Absolutely sometimes.
Okay. I mean,
that's right. Napa Auto Parts.
I like
All right.
Napa.
So, Doug, go ahead. Fill me in here.
People come into the store all the time. They want to buy a can of spray paint. We show them the aisle where the paint is. They go back there, and invariably, you get these people in here, they take the caps off, they shake the can, and they spray it on the floor.
Oh, well, that's Home Depot.
Yeah.
You take a look at the spray paint aisle at Home Depot, and people have sprayed the floor or they've sprayed the metal racks.
Yeah, look, go to Walmart where they have like the Krylon and the $1.97 cans.
And we have to clean that stuff up. And it's not very nice. So, when I see a couple of dudes over there and they're spraying like different shades of black, come on.
Yeah, listen, there is no way in hell that a customer should be spraying the spray paint on the floor. I think I've seen at Home Depot, don't they sometimes have like white cardboard cards so people can test the paint on a piece of cardboard?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. Like I tell customers, I said the color of the cap is the color of the paint.
No, I don't believe you.
Oh, no.
I think you're lying. You're lying. Liar, you're lying. No, that's not true.
And anyway, they spray all over the floor. And then the next thing you know, and I have had one customer, he sprayed in, and he is pushing that button hard, and it's stuck.
Oh, there you go.
So then the dude grabs the can and he runs out the front door, and he's trailing paint everywhere that we got to clean up. So it's like, oh man, come on. Yeah, I would yell at him. I would say, come on. The color of the paint is the color of the cap is the color of the paint.
Well, Doug, thank you for the spray paint dissertation today. Good story, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay, man.
Thank you, Doug. Have
Doug
a great day.
He's been burned before.
All right, so other than spray paint, have you been yelled at in a store? Have you been verbally attacked by any store personnel? Did something happen? You do something? You drop something? I mean, have you been yelled at by an employee, by a store worker? 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. How about Chuck in Newport Richey? Chuck, you're on the Chuck, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi, Chuck. Go ahead.
Hey, Milton. How you doing this morning?
Oh, thank God you've answered.
Hey, you teaching Japanese people how to speak English in Tokyo right now with your Milton stuff. Well, anyway.
Whoa, what?
I'm military, and I was stationed overseas and stuff, and a friend of mine, I sent him your Milton Pledge Cow CDs, a set, and he teaches Japanese friends and his Okinawan friends how to speak English so they understand your CDs better because they get a good laugh out of them.
Wait, hold on a minute. So your friend is teaching Japanese people how to speak English by playing them my old Milton Fludge Cow crotchety old man crank calls?
Yes, sir. I bought 2 sets, one for me and one for him, and that's what he does. That's been, years now.
Oh, wow, that's pretty funny. All right, go ahead. What's your story about a store?
I went to Lowe's and bought a Ryobi set, a new drill set, because mine finally broke down. And I bought it, took it home, took off the straps, and it was missing the drill and the battery charger. So I took it back. The guy literally accused me of stealing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I went off on him. I go, I don't steal, for one.
Yeah, listen, I believe you. I think you're telling the truth, but they do see a lot of crap. They see people return stuff, and people do rip stuff off and then try to return it.
The manager had to come over, and they opened up, and this is no lie, they opened up 11 boxes to make one toolkit.
Are you serious?
Yeah, people steal parts out of each box.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So you want to buy the...
No, they weren't stealing from the customers weren't stealing it. This was from Ryobi themselves. The yellow security straps around the boxes.
Oh, so they didn't fill the boxes with all the parts that were supposed to be in there.
Oh, my gosh.
Straight from the manufacturer.
Yeah, well, maybe your first mistake is Ryobi. Maybe you ought to go DeWalt.
Well, I did go to DeWalt, and that was one of the things, man. It was just like, oh, my God. And I didn't appreciate it.
No, that sucks. Hey, thanks for the call. Jill is in Port Richey. Jill, hi, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hi. Last week, I was in Publix, and I don't particularly like their sushi, but I wanted...
Hold on, you don't particularly like what?
Their sushi.
Their sushi, Publix.
The sushi that Publix has.
I'm not a fan of supermarket sushi, but that's a whole different ballgame.
Right.
All right, so go ahead, Jill. What happened?
I was in the mood for sushi. So
Did you do the Wednesday sushi special?
Right. So I picked up the package because I wanted to see, the nutrition label.
That's valid.
And the lady behind the counter said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm looking for the nutrition label because it was on the bottom of the package."
Oh, did you turn it upside down? Did you mangle up their sushi?
No, I know better.
You're a sushi mangler.
I was holding, I was holding it straight up. It was not rolling around. She started to scream at me. "You do not look at nutrition labels," she said. I said, "But I'm not buying it."
And I think the sushi people at Publix, I think they're contract employees. I don't think.
Oh, really?
I don't know if they're Publix employees. I want to say there's like a company that puts, I don't know if it's JFC or I thought there was a company that puts the sushi makers into the supermarkets, if I'm not mistaken. So she's yelling at you for turning the sushi.
Yeah, she was screaming at me.
In Japanese?
She was Asian, and she said, "Look at nutrition." And I said, okay, fine. And I just put it down and left.
Well, there you go. Shopping's a pleasure. Where sushi is a pleasure.
Yeah, not in that case.
One more call. Michael in Tampa, quickly. You're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi, Michael.
Hey, how's it going?
Going fine, Michael. Go ahead.
It wasn't in a store, but I was in a drive-thru, and the sea hag starts screaming at me through the drive-thru window.
Where was it? What kind of drive-thru?
It was a McDonald's drive-thru.
Right.
And she's like, get out of here with that cigar. It smells so bad. And I'm like, can I at least have a straw? Yeah, I'm not giving you a straw out the window because I might smell your cigar. I'm like, oh my God!
What?
Lady, get off of it.
So Michael's smoking a cigar in the car.
And take Fester to the McDonald's, and both of us will smoke a cigar while we're sitting in the drive-thru.
I'd blow it in the window as soon as they open it.
Thank you, Michael. Have a good one. It's 7:21 at the MJ Morning Show. Hey, I've got a really cool list when we get back. I have the list of all of the celebrities that have gone broke. Celebrities that have made a lot of money and have blown it and have gone broke. And then also the fascinating Delta crash up in Toronto. Unfreaking believable. And some of the audio that we have, if you haven't heard the guy that was upside down and then is walking on the ceiling to get out of the airplane, if you haven't heard that audio, we've got it next. And a whole lot more because we do an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105, 104.7 FM. Don't move. We start, we launch right now, 1 hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. No music, no commercials, just nonstop entertaining content. Boom. I have the list. Oh, we'll get into the Delta crash in a minute. And some of the audio on the Delta crash is unbelievable. So we'll get to that here in just a second. So first, though, celebrities that have gone broke. I saw this last night. I'm like, this is a cool list. And some of these I knew, some of these I didn't know. Some celebrities are not on the list that I think maybe we can add to the list, or at least stories that we've heard. Or, hey, maybe we've got listeners that maybe know some celebrities that went broke. You know, some of these folks made a crap ton of money. And, you know, tell me, Fester and Michelle, tell me if you knew this or if you didn't know this. So this one I knew, that Al Pacino, how much money has Al Pacino made over the years? I mean, he made a fortune over the years, and the dude blew through most of his money.
How?
Yeah, what'd he do?
A lot of it's just excessive spending and just mismanagement. Sometimes bad investments.
All right,
but
I need a little help here defining what broke is.
Yeah.
Is broke like he only had a couple of $1 million in the bank? Because I shed no tears.
Listen, I don't think I've got the full financial statements, but there have been stories about these celebrities that had to sell off property, sell off real estate, have to liquidate things to, cover their bills, cover their liabilities.
I expect that as you go down this list, there's going to be a few names on there that Fester and I do go, okay, yeah, we knew that, we know.
Yeah.
And also there have been stories about what they spent their money on. But Al Pacino, I just don't, he's not a partier. He's not a boozer. He's not a...
Well, how do you know?
Yeah, when'd you hang out with Al?
How do you know? How do you know he's not a boozer?
No, I'm just saying we haven't heard stories about him, in the media. I'm going to guess you're going to say Johnny Depp down the list, right? We all know...
Don't spoil my list.
Well, to compare,
right.
We know that Johnny Depp has invested in real estate around the world, right. And he, had some issues along the way.
It costs money to replace the poop bed.
The whole bed.
The Amber Heard poop bed.
He called the original mattress company. Okay, we got a clean one coming right up.
Is that Clearwater mattress?
Yeah, made here in Tampa Bay. I saw the commercial yesterday.
So Johnny Depp replaced the poop bed with Clearwater mattresses, right?
I think it's made in Clearwater. I don't think it's Clearwater.
But
Anyway.
What have you heard about Al Pacino? Like,
That he likes to impregnate younger women when he's a very, very old man?
well, maybe that's what's costing him so much money. I don't know.
83, and my girlfriend is carrying my baby is 17. Yeah.
I mean, did Al Pacino miss a meal? I mean, how broke are we talking about here?
Also,
does he clip coupons at the
I
Ralph's
mean,
supermarket?
is he really that great of an actor?
Al Pacino, yes.
He does the same thing. Do that again. Do your Al Pacino?
Yeah, Michelle.
Yeah, he's
hey.
Same in every movie.
Hey.
Same.
Hey, it's me. It's Al.
Yeah.
I mean, his younger stuff. Was a lot better.
Hey, sweetie, you're
Grunting.
younger than me. You're perfect.
Who's next?
All right. So next on the list, Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey's got a lot more problems than Well, part of the issue is that he had a huge lifestyle with homes littered and dotted across the globe. Expensive properties and upkeep, and then his income kind of went whoop. Kind of hit the skids with all the allegations. But at the peak of Kevin Spacey's career, his net worth was somewhere between $70 and $80 million.
That's it?
Yeah, but then he had all kinds of property. I would have thought it would have been maybe a little more. But then, he had property all over the place, and I think he had like an Italian villa, and he had some castle in the Scottish countryside or
Is
something.
$70 million Scottish castle money?
Nah,
I don't know.
What are you
I don't
saying?
think
You're
so.
saying you need more than $70 million to have a Scottish
I don't know,
castle?
but at what point do you say, you know what I need?
A Scottish castle.
A castle. A Scottish castle.
Yeah, so he had the slew of, sexual misconduct allegations. I think those began in 2017. The whole Me Too thing. Anyway, so Kevin Spacey, big financial trouble. Tori Spelling. Now, this sucks.
Yeah.
Because, Tori Spelling, I don't mind Tori Spelling. Tori Spelling's father, Aaron Spelling, who was like the producer of all these smash hit TV shows back in the 70s and early 80s, he was worth a fortune. And what went wrong? I mean, the father, Aaron put Tori on Beverly Hills 90210, right?
Yes.
So she made a little bit of her own money.
Yeah.
Right.
But the father's money went to the mother.
Yeah.
Yep.
But what was the deal? Did Tori have a beef with the father, or was Tori's beef with the mother?
I really can't find too much out about it. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's more with the mother.
Well, Tori had this reality show, and she married somebody I don't think the mother ever really liked. And I think she put a little financial pressure on him by not helping him anything.
So growing up, she lived like in the largest house, I think, in California.
Yeah.
The Aaron Spelling mansion was 123 rooms.
Yeah.
14 bedrooms, 27 bathrooms. They had a staff of 20 to operate the damn thing.
Yeah.
So Aaron Spelling dies, and he's worth like $1 billion. He's worth a fortune. Hugely successful TV shows. So Aaron Spelling only leaves Tori $800,000 in the will when Aaron Spelling passed away in 2006. So, she racked up all kinds of debt, and she blew through that money. And then didn't we hear that, recently, wasn't she living in a motorhome with her kids or something? Or
I think they spent the summer camping. It's not like we live in a van down by the river.
Yeah.
But Candy Spelling, the mother, still has the fortune, and she hasn't, been overly generous.
But
and
they hate each other, right?
No, they have a very complicated mother-daughter relationship.
And she's still alive, Candy, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So when Candy Spelling dies, is that money going to Tori? Or is she donating it to her cats?
I mean, whatever the will says, right? Or whoever it's beneficiary to.
Yes, Andrew, what's up in the producer's booth?
It's funny. Celebrity Net Worth, the website, often blows up these numbers for the net worth. It's much larger than what's real.
Okay.
For Tori, they have net worth $150,000.
That's funny. Listen, I don't know how the hell I got on Celebrity Net Worth, but I'm on there, and I'll tell you right now, the number is wrong.
It's way low.
No, well, listen, if I'm going to be honest, yes, it is. All right, the first truth booth question, yes. So it is low. Listen, I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah, the Celebrity Net Worth thing, it's way off. It's not even. It's wrong. All right. So next, where was I? Sharon Stone. Sharon Stone broke.
Really?
Yeah, I guess she didn't get paid a lot of money to, with the crotch shot,
Yeah. Yeah.
So Sharon Stone broke. I'm just going to blow through. Michael Jackson. Look at the money that he went through,
Wow.
and the amount of money he made. And Michael Jackson was broke. How are you Michael Jackson and you're broke?
What's broke though? I mean, he didn't have $30 million liquid at any given time. I mean, he spent money hand over fist and he died.
Dude, Michael Jackson was over $500 million in debt when he died with the propofol overdose in 2009.
I think that's why he was going back on tour, was to try to make money and clear his debts.
Exactly. The Nicolas Cage story. We've known about this one for years. Nicolas Cage is great. Nicolas Cage is fantastic. Nicolas Cage, again, homes all over the place, would spend $7 million on dinosaur bones to put in his study.
It was like a whole skull.
Yeah.
That's a thing about the real estate all over the place. You find out these celebrities who is telling them you must buy homes all over the world because it costs money to run the homes.
All right, Johnny, let me blow through this quickly. So I want to get to the Delta Claire. Johnny Depp on the broke list. Mike Tyson made a fortune, and Mike Tyson blew through his money. Mike Tyson on the broke list. Aaron Carter, Nick Carter's brother. He made decent money. Broke. Let's see here. Drake Bell. He was Nickelodeon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Drake Bell went broke. Let's see. There's Dionne Warwick. That's what friends are for?
What, borrowing money from?
How does Dionne Warwick, she's no longer with us, but how did Dionne Warwick, one of the most popular singers, 1960s, 70s, she had a big hit in the 80s.
Hold on. A major correction.
Yeah, what?
Dionne is still with us.
Oh, my God. Oh, my.
Why did you think she was dead?
Yeah.
I thought she was dead.
What's wrong with you?
I've killed her off.
She's 84 years old.
I've killed her off like a surprise kill-off in like a Yellowstone episode.
I see a couple of very recent photos. She looks fantastic for 84.
I apologize. Dionne Warwick is alive. And she's 84 years old and she's not dead. Oh, my apologies to Dionne Warwick. But with a song like... correction. There's another celebrity that's not on this list that should be on this list.
I can think of two.
Go ahead.
MC Hammer.
Yep.
And to Fester's point, Billy Joel had an issue with his accountant way, way, way back in the day.
That's
I think
right.
he's recovered. I think it was like his wife was his then wife was part of that.
Yeah,
right?
I think Billy Joel's doing just fine
But he
these
recovered.
days.
Yeah.
Billy Joel's major problem was like getting liquored up and driving smashing into cars on Long Island.
Yeah, driving little small sports cars into trees. That was his problem for a while.
But, MC Hammer. The hell's that? That's not MC Hammer. What hold on.
Where's Can't Touch This?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to play here.
I don't need a deep cut right now.
What the? Yeah, this is supposed to be You Can't Touch This. That's not, I hate to tell you.
This isn't the right version.
That is not Can't Touch This. Hold on, let me see if this is the right one.
You can't touch this.
Oh.
There we go.
There we go. My. He had like a gigantic. We've already been through this, Andrew.
Name it. What's the dumbest thing he did?
All right. So MC Hammer put like a giant MC made of gold in the bottom of his swimming pool.
Yeah.
Like to the tune of like hundreds of thousands of dollars. And and he had the largest collection of parachute pants in the entire world.
The world.
That's why we did the MJ in the bottom of our pool.
We don't have an MJ.
You guys only could afford 2 letters.
We don't have MJ in the bottom of our pool. All right, 7:42 at the MJ Morning Show. All right, in just a bit, the return of the Truth Booth with a twist. We'll explain in just a bit. First, though, man, this Delta Airlines crash up in Toronto yesterday. Holy crap. And for all 80 on board to survive is miraculous. Overnight, footage of the actual plane landing and crashing has come out. So if you haven't seen it, the video, Fester, have you seen the video of the plane crashing yet?
Crashing, no. The guy walking out, yes.
No. So now the video from the airfield has come out. So if you want to, bring that up, you can see it. I saw it earlier this morning, but you see the plane landing, and then you see, fire erupting from the wings, and the right wing snaps off. And, they're kind of designed to do that because, you don't want the wing to rip off the fuselage and then suck passengers out. So the wing snapped off. It was, it breaks away, the bolts shear as what the design apparently is. And that also allows the fuel in the fuel cells, the fuel tanks in the wings to get away from the aircraft. So certainly that helped. But if you look at the video, and there are numerous angles, there are, I've seen like 3 different videos now of the plane actually landing. And it looks like the right wingtip touches and scrapes the runway and then causes the plane to veer out of control, snapping off the wing. That's what it looks like. So this is truly remarkable. 80 on board. You had 76 passengers. This was the Delta flight from Minneapolis, St. Paul to Toronto, Pearson. Delta Connection flight 4819. So it's all branded. The whole livery on the airplane is Delta, operated by Endeavor. But Delta Airlines owns Endeavor. It's wholly owned by Delta. And, of course, the plane's all marked with the Delta colors, Delta logo. Delta owns the commuter airline Endeavor. But you had 76 passengers. You had 2 pilots and 2 flight attendants. So a total of 80 people. Everybody walks away from this thing. The plane flips over on its roof. The wing is sheared off. The tail is ripped off the airplane. People are hanging upside down. I saw one of the passengers on board said they were hanging upside down like they were a bat.
Yeah, I mean, what else? I mean, you find out really quickly who kept their seatbelt on for landing, right?
But some of the audio that I got to play here is unbelievable. First of all, here's some air traffic control audio. All right, hey, Andrew, can you? Why is MC Hammer
We
still
still have
playing?
MC running?
No, now it stopped. But it was off my button bar, so I couldn't shut it off. All right. So here's audio from air traffic control. Listen to this.
This airplane just crashed at 23. Just for my essay, where's the crash? It's on runway 23, right at the threshold, right at this intersection there, 23 and 15 left. On life flight 1 minute back, just so you are, there's people outside walking around the aircraft there. Yeah, we've got it. The aircraft's there's upside down and burning.
All right, so you've got some ATC, you've got other pilots that are, keying their mics and describe. I mean, that just gives you chills.
This airplane just crashed at 23. Just for my essay, where's the crash? It's on runway 23, right at the threshold, right at this intersection there, 23 and 15 left. On life flight 1 minute back, just so you are, there's people outside walking around the aircraft there. Yeah, we've got it. The aircraft's there's upside down and burning.
Unbelievable. And the video is insane. And then there's video from inside the airplane. I'll play that for you in just a second. So what caused this? Strong winds, strong crosswinds. As a pilot, pilots know you fly into the wind. And airports change directions on departures and arrivals depending on wind. And you want to nose into the wind. And there are some techniques. So if you've got some strong crosswinds, you'll sometimes, dip the wing, or you will kind of veer off into the wind a little bit, because you've seen some of the landings where the planes are kind of sideways and then they touch down. So that's a technique. It looks like maybe the pilot, and look, I don't want to be an armchair quarterback here, and it'll take a little bit of time for the Canadians and I think the NTSB here in the United States. The Canadians have this investigation because it happened in Toronto. But, the NTSB and the U.S. authorities are going to, I'm sure, assist on this thing. But, it looks like the pilot might have dipped the wing and then caught the wing on the ground. And that caused the plane to crash and then to, flip over. And for all of these people to walk away, it's truly remarkable. Some of the other audio bites that you got to hear. All right. This is audio from inside the airplane getting out. And this is a passenger who was hanging upside down like all the other passengers. And you get the last couple of seconds of him walking. Well, the aisle now is the ceiling of the airplane.
Yeah, right.
I mean, people are walking, oh, what a feeling, dancing on the ceiling. It's like, Lionel Richie song here.
They're walking between the overhead luggage compartments.
Yes, they are walking on the ceiling of the airplane to get out of this aircraft. Listen to this.
Everything, drop it.
All right, so that's the flight attendant telling people drop everything because, for whatever reason, people want to grab their personal belongings. Just get out of the aircraft. We've seen crash landings where people, they're getting their wheelies out of the overhead bins and people are escaping down slides and their wheelie bags with them. Leave your crap on the plane. Just get the hell off the airplane. So you can hear the flight attendant is saying, leave everything. And then there's a couple of interesting other things to hear in this audio.
Everything, drop it. Come on. Don't take your video. Take that phone away. No.
Holy.
You hear this guy?
Holy. Oh my God. Yo, I was just on this plane. Oh my God. Yo, I was just on this plane. Holy.
So that's Pete Kukov. And he's like, holy F.
Yeah, right.
Holy F. And that reminded me of something else. We'll get to it in just a second. But I want to play this audio again. I want you to hear a couple of things here.
Everything, drop it.
All right, so flight attendant again, she's standing at the door inside the aircraft. It's upside down. Everyone's walking on the ceiling of the aircraft. Can you imagine you're dangling? So you're in your seat.
And then you have to drop?
Yeah, so you have to, pull your seatbelt, but brace yourself so you don't, slam down on your neck. So you got to kind of pull your seatbelt, but then hold on to the armrests or to try to lower yourself onto the ceiling as you're hanging upside down. I mean, this thing was not on its side. This thing was upside down. These people were hanging like bats upside down.
Well, that was my initial question to you.
Yeah.
Was how do you even, I was trying to figure out, if everybody is hanging upside down, it's, first of all, pretty uncomfortable, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, really.
You have the seatbelt across your pelvis. And how do you hold on? What are you holding on to make sure that you don't fall and break your neck?
You have to try to hold on.
I mean,
once you undo your belt, you got to hold on to the seat, the armrest. You got to, hold on to something.
Or just cover your face and head.
And that's what people do. You don't want to drop on your neck.
No.
You kind of don't have a big choice here. You're a little wedged in seat.
You have to hold on to something to lower yourself down. So most people obviously did that. So, but it's insane. All right, let me go back to the audio. A couple of things here. Listen.
Everything, drop it. Come on.
All right, so you can hear it. No video. No
video. Good luck.
All right, yeah, really. You're in a plane crash. Most people didn't roll video, but some people are like, oh, my God, I'm going to get a lot of hits and views on this one.
Right.
This is the best thing to happen to that guy's social media.
He's gotten 400 new followers from this. All right.
Everything, drop it. Come on. Don't take your video.
All right, so you hear that right there. Don't take video. Some people just roll in video. Listen, just get out of the airplane because you don't know if it's going to explode. You don't know at this point what the condition of the aircraft is.
Holy.
And this guy's just going. This is this Pete Kukov, and he's just going, holy F. As he gets out of the plane, sees the plane upside down, the wings sheared off this thing, smoke's coming out, and he's just like, holy.
Holy. Oh my God.
And then as he's getting away from the plane, he's looking at the whole thing. Then it's starting to dawn on him. you're in a plane crash.
You can see the whole video, and there's the wheels up in the air.
You have survived a plane crash, and your Delta plane is upside down.
Yo, I was just on this plane. Oh my God. Yo, I was just on this plane.
All right, so how many times did he say, holy F, holy F? You know what that reminded me of?
What?
One of the pilots from the Asiana flight that crashed in San Francisco, remember?
Oh, no.
Holy Fook.
I heard that audio just the other day.
So this guy's saying, holy F, holy F. And I'm like, hey, what about holy Fook? Remember, this is unbelievable. And to this day, I don't know how KTVU television in San Francisco, how the hell they fell for this. Remember this classic?
We have new information now also on the plane crash. KTVU has just learned the names of the 4 pilots who were on board the flight. They are Captain Sum Ting Wong, Wee Tu Lo, Ho Lee Fook, and Bang Ding Ao. The NTSB has confirmed these are the names of the pilots on board Flight 214 when it crashed. We are working to determine exactly what roles each of them played during the landing on Saturday.
None. And then remember they had to apologize like all day long?
To this day, in my book, that goes down as the greatest news prank.
News fail, news prank, yeah.
The greatest.
Unbelievable. Hey, and here's the apology from KTVU. This is back... what was this, like 2012 or something? 2011?
Tonight, we want to take a moment and say that we are sorry. Earlier today, during our noon newscast, we misidentified the pilots in the Asiana Airlines crash. We made several mistakes when we received this information. First of all, we never read the names out loud, phonetically sounding them out. Then, during our phone call to the NTSB, where the person confirmed the spellings of the names, we never asked that person to give us their position within the agency.
Anyway, the story was, I'm not going to play the whole thing. The story was that they called the NTSB and a summer intern said, yeah, those were the pilots' names. It turns out it was a summer intern. Do you let the intern continue with their internship during that summertime internship, or do you throw them out?
I think it's done.
So the TV station calls up the NTSB, the National Transportation Safety Board in Washington, and they say, yeah, we'd like to confirm the pilots' names, Holy Fook, Sum Ting Wong, Wee Tu Lo, and what was the other one?
Boom.
Oh, Bang Ding Ao. Oh, yeah, those are the pilots.
Sounds good to us.
Yes, hi, I'm an intern. Oh, yeah, I'm in a transportation class at George Mason University.
What a mess.
So when I heard the guy getting out of the Delta flight and he's going, holy F, I'm like, holy Fook. It's holy Fook. All right, so back over to some of the other audio bites before we move on to the truth booth. And just miraculous. I mean, thank God. I mean, it's just incredible that what happened to this aircraft, the wing snapping off, obviously jet fuel all over the place. You know, some of the passengers were interviewed on cable news last night, and they were like, yeah, I still smell of jet fuel, you know?
So was it mostly Canadian passengers?
No,
or mostly Americans?
I think they said there were 17 Canadians on board, and the rest were other multinationals.
Okay.
So I would guess that the bulk, so you had 76 passengers and 4 crew. So of the 76, apparently 17 were Canadian, or somewhere around that number is what I heard. And I would imagine the rest are probably mostly Americans. But there were people from various nations on the aircraft. But that's, again, unbelievable. All right, so here is more audio. This is another passenger. Once he got out of the plane, this is John Nelson.
We're in Toronto. We just landed. Our plane crashed. It's upside down. Fire department's on site. Upside down. Everybody, most people appear to be okay. We're all getting off. Some smoke going on.
Why does it sound like a Cylon? Anyway, the audio was not great on his phone, but that's John Nelson.
But
and then what?
I think what you hear him realizing, I think he's saying it's upside down. It's upside down. I think he's literally kind of just processing it as he's, recording it, Can you imagine what that must feel like? Like, it's not like one of those things where the pilot says, we have an issue, put your head between your knees, like in some of the other, incidents. Literally, it flipped, and that guy's standing out there going, the plane is upside down. I think he's still in shock.
Yeah,
is what I hear in his voice.
Definitely, they're in shock.
Yeah,
but they had to know they were upside down because you're hanging upside down and you got to pull the seatbelt. But this is another reason why when they tell you to fasten your seatbelts tightly around your waist, have your seatbelt tightly around your waist, would you please? And I've been on flights where the plane is touching down and people are already getting out of their seats trying to get to the overhead bins.
Oh, yeah, I'm that guy.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine if somebody had gotten out of their seat? Or I wonder if there were people that were not strapped in tightly. Or I wonder if there were passengers that did, out of 76 passengers, were there some passengers that did not have their seatbelt on or not tightly fastened about their waist?
I've taken cross-country flights without my seatbelt on. The
well,
whole thing.
That's stupid.
I'm not saying it's the smartest
How many
thing.
extenders are you using now?
One large one.
Just one large extender?
But I use the whole damn thing.
Yeah. All right, so you're pulled all the way to the end of that extender?
Pretty close.
All right, and then we have that passenger, the John Nelson guy. He was interviewed on CNN last night.
Yeah, it was a typical flight from Minneapolis to Toronto. And we were coming in, and I did notice that, the winds were super gusty. The snow had kind of blown over the runways. And so coming in, it just, it was routine, but it was noticeable that the runways were kind of in a weird condition. And when we hit, it was just a super hard, I hit the ground and the plane went sideways. And I believe we skidded on our side and then flipped over on our back where we ended up. There was a big fireball out this left side of the plane.
Wow.
And when we got finished, it was I was upside down. Everybody else was there as well. Thankfully, everybody was okay. But we tried to get out of there as quickly as possible. And then shortly thereafter, I got done filming the video. There was another explosion, but luckily the firefighters got out of there.
Yeah, and those were reports that the firefighters had jumped out of the plane right when there was some type of an explosion. But the firefighters from the airport were on the scene very quickly. They're spraying foam all over the place. It was 15 or 16 degrees outside. I mean, kind of miserable conditions. But miraculously, everyone walked away. The initial reports were there were 3 people critically injured. And then the airport walked that back and said there were no critical injuries. And, man, everyone walks away from this thing. Unbelievable.
Does it seem like there's a lot of plane
Yes, there does, Fester.
I mean, is it just me?
It's not just you. It seems like there's, we had just very quiet for a very, very long time. And then suddenly, then suddenly, boom. And listen, 2 CRJs. The American Airlines flight that was hit by the Black Hawk helicopter over D.C., that was a CRJ 700 belonging to American Airlines. And again, it's a Bombardier Mitsubishi. And that was a 700. And then the plane involved yesterday was another Bombardier Mitsubishi CRJ 900. So the big brother to 700.
Wow.
But American, Delta, we had the other... where the medical jet crash, nosedive into the street in Philly a couple of weeks back. Yeah.
Well, if you apply that rule of 3, hopefully it's over, right?
Oh, jeez.
I don't believe that rule of 3.
I don't really either.
But what's going on though? Why were we so quiet for so long? And speaking of Toronto, do you remember? I think it was 2005 or 2006. Was it Air France that crash landed? And that was a big plane. I think it was an Airbus. Was it an Airbus 330 or was it a Boeing 777? But a big wide body, a heavy, crash landed at Toronto. And again, the plane caught on fire and everybody got out, 250-something. Everybody got out of that. What was that? Air France. Yeah, click on that. Air France 358. What kind of plane was that? Was that it was an Airbus 340. What was the date on this thing? August 2nd, 2005. It was an Airbus 340. So that's like a 330, but 4 engines on the 340 versus 2 on the 330. Anyway, but everyone got out of that plane as well. And that was the last time there was an incident at, you know what's amazing is, Tampa International Airport. I don't want to jinx anything, but we've had, Michelle, you're flying out tonight.
You know what? What is wrong with you?
What?
Yeah.
Hey, no, I'm just saying that. Hold on. Listen, stop. I'm just saying that the safety record at Tampa International has been incredible.
The safety record at most airports have been through the roof.
Yeah.
Orlando's been pretty amazing as well.
But it just shows how safe air travel really is. Here, we've lived in the Tampa Bay area for what? 31 years. We moved here in 94. And the only incident that I can think of at Tampa International was that U.S. Airways flight that had a hard landing. That, remember, Billy Mays was on that flight. There was a hard landing at Tampa International with a U.S. Air flight.
Wasn't there something maybe a year ago?
What?
Where something snapped. Remember we had that plane spotter on the air? Was it a hard landing or a landing gear snapped or something?
That was only in the last year.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
In the last year, wasn't there some?
Oh, that's right.
Something newsworthy coming out of the airport.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Did the landing gear collapse or something?
I'll take a collapsed landing gear any day.
Yeah, absolutely. But listen,
versus the flip over?
Versus a flip versus hitting a helicopter.
But again, you look at the hundreds and hundreds and maybe millions of flights, over over decades and decades and Tampa International really has had an amazing safety record.
Look at JFK. Look at Atlanta. Look at LAX. I mean, it's amazing.
Michelle's flying out tonight. Sorry, Michelle. Yeah, Michelle and Chloe. I don't want to say where you're going.
No.
Yeah.
Please don't.
I'm not going to say where you're headed, but Michelle and Chloe are heading out tonight for a school visit. As you know, Chloe is obviously still on the law school quest.
Why so top secret?
And Chloe's got a couple of great acceptances. She's got a bunch of wait lists. She's got a couple of rejections.
Yeah.
Who rejected her? That's what I want to know.
Listen, and Michelle, this law school cycle is the busiest in like decades.
The worst.
Yeah,
the worst.
I mean, she can't catch a break.
She can't.
Chloe was class of 2020 in high school.
Yep.
And they get hosed. The 2020 kids got screwed as far as graduation because of COVID.
Then being in college during COVID, lockdowns and testings and no sports, no athletics, no parties.
Then Chloe applies for law school, and now it's the busiest law school. Schools where Chloe absolutely would have gotten into. She's like either rejected or on a wait list.
Yes.
But she's got a couple of great acceptances.
What's the change? Why so many people entering a law school this year?
It's very technical, Fester. You don't want me to bore you with it.
Yeah.
I just heard a bunch of airplane talk. I'm ready to be bored by the technical stuff.
They changed the test, the way they do the testing. The LSAC changed the test. So a lot of people who were doing poorly hurried up and took it. Afterwards, a lot of people who were doing great with it took it before they changed it. So you had this influx. An election year, you always have like a 7% bump, I guess.
Really?
So basically,
everything
we had
came together, right?
Right. It was just like the perfect storm. 250,000, I think, applications by the end of November when they normally get that many over the course of 6 months.
Yeah,
it's just been an excruciating,
insane.
Because that's what we don't have enough of as lawyers.
They're saying,
exactly.
Right.
They're saying that law school applications are up over 25%.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
yeah.
Anyway, so Michelle and Chloe are flying out tonight to an undetermined location for a visit to another law school tomorrow.
Also, just to get out of the house.
All right, so
to not have to show up tomorrow morning to the radio
You got it,
show.
Fester.
all right, the truth booth.
All right.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring back the truth booth.
Okay.
Okay.
The truth booth is coming back with a twist, and I have to decide whether we should just launch into it right now and kind of fly by the seat of our pants, or we kind of ease into it. Maybe I take some emails, then we get people on the phone. I don't know how to do this, so I still have to work my way through it. But we're bringing the truth booth back. But the difference, the twist is going to be we're going to let the listeners call up and ask the questions.
Okay.
Listeners get
Fester?
to call up and ask me, ask Fester.
So essentially, it's like an MJ Morning Show AMA. Ask me anything.
Well, I've done that. I did that years ago.
I know, but
ask MJ anything. Yeah. Did that 20 years
But
ago.
are you bound by the truth on these?
Well,
can you claim
that's the name of the game.
What's the amendment you can claim, Michelle? The fifth?
Plead the fifth.
Plead the
You know,
fifth,
and not to self-incriminate.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I have high crimes and misdemeanors on my end. I don't know how many I want to be bragging about on the radio.
What do you think about the truth booth coming back and letting the listeners ask the questions? Because when we did the truth booth prior, Froggy would ask the question,
Right.
or whatever. Was he doing that in character? I can't remember. But this time with the truth booth coming back, you, the listener, get to call up with the question.
I'm a little conflicted. I'm generally not afraid of listeners' questions, but when you open it up like that, what if they want to ask something really personal?
Do you think we ought to maybe give it a whirl right now? And what are you grumbling over there about, Fester? You're like,
I'm a fan. I like doing things by the seat of our pants.
Uh-huh.
That's our whole show is seat of the pants.
Let's throw it against the wall and see what sticks. I like that generally, but.
Well, you know what? We can just get it out of the way. What is the worst question a listener could ask you, Fester?
My herpes?
Stop.
You want to know about that?
Stop. Please knock it off.
You want to know about my herpes?
Stop.
You want to know about my 2 bankruptcies?
Stop.
You want to know about the time I shot a guy?
Stop.
Which one? What do you want to know?
You never shot a guy.
In the face, but I shot him in the leg.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
You want to know about the time I mooned my friend Mike? And he shot me
with
a BB gun?
With a BB gun?
Yeah. All right, Michelle, should we ask listeners to call in right now with a truth booth question, or should we ease into this over the next couple of days?
I mean, if you try it now, you got to kind of expect that somebody might throw us something you're uncomfortable with. Okay. So you have to be able to go you know what? No, we're not going to answer questions like that.
I mean, let's talk about
I don't know.
What's the worst question somebody could ask you?
I'm legally bound to answer the question in the truth booth.
Legally bound?
You're not legally bound, but...
Did you swear over there?
I'm legally bound.
Are you swearing on something over there?
I am legally bound. You know what? Let's give it a shot. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the triumphant return of the Truth Booth. So you, the MJ Morning Show listener, you have the opportunity to ask us anything you want, and we must answer with the truth. In theory, in principle.
We're going to do the best we can to be as honest as we can.
800-990-1047. This is a little bit of flying by the seat of our pants on Delta Flight 48, whatever.
Is that the one that rolled over in Toronto?
Yeah, 4819.
I hope this one doesn't roll over on us.
Look at the phones. You never know.
Now, Andrew, you can't put what the question is up on the.
No.
You just put the name and the city because I don't want to give MJ a heads up on what it could be.
Should Andrew screen some of it? I guess not. I don't know.
I mean, you have a dump button over there.
I do have a dump button.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't use bad language, you guys. But let's ask MJ anything.
Well, let's.
Wait, and how many questions do they get?
No, it's one question. It's one question.
Okay,
one question per caller.
Yeah,
it's one per customer.
This isn't a deposition.
Yeah,
okay.
It's one per customer.
I've been through those. They like to ask a million questions.
Depos, just don't talk a lot. Yes, no answers. All right.
Somebody should have told me that beforehand.
I don't recall.
All right. Now, the first caller's kind of a regular.
Okay.
So,
here we go.
All right. So, first caller from Wesley Chapel, Keenal. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, sir.
All right. I always want to make sure I pronounce your name properly. And you call once a week or so. All right, Keenal, you're the first caller on the return of the Truth Booth. Listener questions. What is your question and who's it for?
Okay, so my question is for Michelle. And I've always wondered this. We've heard your side of the story, MJ. But Michelle, I want to know, what finally made you say yes to MJ when he was persistent in asking you out?
Well, I guess I could tell the story about our kiss, right? Your first kiss, our first kiss, when you kind of pushed me into that little corner on that second tier of the Streamers Club next to the Frogger machine. I don't know what machine it was. My frog might have been Mrs. Pac-Man.
Might have been Centipede.
Right, might have been Centipede.
Yeah, tried to give you the Centipede.
But you were dragging me around.
I was all grabby like I had Centipede arms.
Yeah, you were. You were very grabby, dragging me around, holding my hand, and then you literally just turned around and pushed me in the corner and kissed me. And yeah, I think that was pretty much it. You know.
Oh, and then you fell in love with me a short time later. Look at that.
That was it.
I don't know if
Oh, that is sweet, but Mr. MJ.
What I was 21 years old or something?
Right around there.
20 years old. All right, thank you, Keno. Have a great day. All right, listen, that wasn't bad. That was okay. I don't want to push my luck here.
I know. All right, it's over. Game's over.
All right, thank you. That's the end. That's the end of.
Listen,
all right.
You let the cat out of the bag now. You got to take 20 of them.
Yeah, I'm not taking 20 calls.
50?
Ron and Largo, you're in the truth booth. What do you want to ask and to whom?
This one is for Michelle.
Okay.
I would like to know, does MJ have a firm handshake and all of his teeth?
Does he have a firm handshake and all of his teeth? Yes and yes.
Yes, yes, and no.
The firm handshake refers to a couple weeks back. You were talking about who makes good lovers, blah blah blah. Those that have firm handshakes.
Yeah.
So,
that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. No, I do have a firm handshake.
Yes.
I'm not I hate limp wristed little soft hand. I hate those. So I've always been a firm handshaker.
You are.
But you don't really shake your wife's hand much. And the other question about all my teeth. I had all of my teeth.
Yep.
I had all 32 until 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was during COVID.
Yeah, I cracked my was it bottom right? I cracked my bottom right wisdom teeth. So
one of them.
I had all 32. I still had all 4 wisdom teeth, and I cracked my lower right wisdom tooth. And Dr. Childers, pulled it out. So
is there some significance to the tooth thing too, though? Because I didn't get the double entendre sort of thing.
Ron, what's with the tooth question?
The thing with the tooth question is when Fester got a text from somebody saying that you guys should ask all your listeners that call in, do they have all their teeth?
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked to a customer. We talked to a listener a couple of weeks ago who was addicted to meth. I'm just like, do you have all your teeth?
That's right. I did ask him. Hey, you got all your teeth?
So.
Thank you, Ron. Have a great day. Kathy in Newport Richie. Kathy, Truth Booth, what's your question and for whom?
For you, MJ.
Okay, go ahead.
What happened to Roxanne? I was out of work for 2 weeks and I came back and she's not there.
Yeah, Roxanne is no longer with the show.
What'd she do? Move on?
Yeah, she's moved on. She's got yes, Fester.
That's a terrible answer, by the way. Roxanne is no longer with the show. That's the one-line email that the company gives when they fire you.
So
listen, Roxanne decided to spend more time with her family. This is a tough schedule, and she was missing time with her kids. So at the end of the year, she stepped away from the radio station and the program. She recently got another job, but it works a little later in the day.
Yeah, I mean,
and we're very happy for her.
Yeah, I mean, she has a schedule that's I guess they tape after the morning show, after her kids are at school. She's going to do like the TV paid programming stuff where, they interview podiatrists about hangnails and stuff. So, that's, so.
Her goal was to spend more time with her kids in the morning and spend time with her family, and she's doing that. And she's still a working mom, and we're super happy and proud of her.
Listen, and we wish her the best in her endeavors.
And if you're a podiatrist and you want a good TV segment, just contact Roxanne.
Yeah, so that, and we are, by the way, we're in the process of interviewing folks. We are bringing a new female onto the show. Now, a lot of people said Michelle's doing a great job filling in, making Michelle permanent. Yeah, listen, Michelle's not going to be permanent, but Michelle will always be a part of the show as she has been. But we are hiring, and I'm very excited about this. We're going to hire a new woman to join Fester and me here in the studio, and hopefully we'll have an announcement in the next 30 days on who we're going to hire. All right.
All right. Let Michelle know she's doing an excellent job too.
Well, she can hear you.
You let her know.
Kathy, you can talk to Michelle right now.
Good morning, Michelle. You're doing an
Good morning.
job.
Good morning, Kathy. Thank you, and thanks for listening.
You're welcome, honey.
All right. Have a great day.
You guys have a great day.
Let's grab Josh in Plant City. Josh, you're in the Truth Booth. Go ahead.
All right, MJ, this is for you. Whatever happened to Cracker Jack Harris and the joke du jour? From the old show.
Yeah, that was old MJ and BJ days. Years ago, we used to have Jack Harris in, and he used to tell the joke of the day. I don't know. To me, it just became a little too old-fashioned. And, I was trying to break away from, kind of the goofy kind of, expected radio segments. And, I wanted to really make the show more of a spontaneous, free form and not have, crutch segments. So, that's kind of why we did away with that joke of the day thing. And listen, that was done away with back in like 1996.
I was in 7th grade for that.
Yeah. So we started the MJ and BJ show in 94, and I think we did away with that maybe in 95, actually.
Listen,
listen, we love Jack Harris, and, he's retired now, but I just didn't think that the joke of the day fit the kind of the show I was trying to put on.
All right, that sounds good.
Yep.
All right. No pennies Thursday. See ya.
There you go.
Throw it all in.
Well, wrong guy. Right radio station back in the Powered Pig days because, we both worked there. Lisa in Tampa. Lisa, you're on the MJ Morning Show. It's the Truth Booth, listener generated. Go ahead, Lisa.
Good morning.
Hey, who's your question for?
MJ.
Okay, go ahead. What's your question for me?
I don't think you're going to tell the truth, but we'll see.
Okay.
So I feel like 90% of the time Roxanne got on your nerves. Is that the truth?
No, not really.
Not 90.
Maybe 75.
I mean, 90's way too high. But yeah, if it was in the 60s, I'd probably say, probably.
No, 90's too high.
90's too high, but I'm on the right track.
No.
It definitely came across daily.
All right, well, listen. I wouldn't say 90, and I don't think you're on the right track as far as, what you might be thinking.
That might be high.
All right. Yeah, 90's high. Lisa, thanks for the call.
65 would be the number I'd go with.
All right. David in Largo. David, you're on the MJ Morning Show. It's the Truth Booth. Who's your question for?
MJ.
Oh, boy, I'm getting them all now.
Let's go.
All right, go ahead, David.
Okay, now with Roxanne being gone and there was budget to bring on someone else, why didn't y'all just bring Froggy back?
Listen, I'll be honest. Hey, Fester, Fester, why don't you take this and I'll fill in the blanks?
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Hey, listen, it's the Truth Booth. I don't mind airing a couple of pieces of dirty laundry here.
Listen, I'll tell you right now. I love Froggy. I love his family. I think he's a great guy and all that good stuff. And he'll be a friend of mine hopefully for the rest of my life. That aside, over the last 2 months or so of last year, Froggy became a real prick toward MJ online.
Meltdown!
He did. And if you contacted him, he would admit it too. He's in a better place now, but he said some pretty stupid things addressing MJ online.
Yeah, well,
and
also,
nobody really knew where he was coming from.
Also personally as well.
Yeah.
Froggy melted down, and Froggy attacked me, attacked the company online on social media, and he's since erased all this stuff. But he was like having an episode, and he just went nuts online. And then he was sending me these texts. He was like going on text spurts, and like just ripping me, and like writing these awful things.
This was after he was let go.
Yeah, it was like around sometime between Thanksgiving and like the first week of the New Year.
And let me tell you the sad thing. I had management. Had agreed for me to start bringing Froggy back after the first of the year. So I was just about to bring Froggy back, and then he goes on this meltdown and just burns the bridge with the company, burns the bridge with me. So it's the Truth Booth.
At the end of the day, I listen, I still love my friend. I don't think he's coming back to the radio show.
Thank you for that, because I didn't understand why y'all didn't just bring him back.
Yeah, that's
y'all had to let him go because you didn't have the money.
That's the reason, dude. That's 100% the truth. You just heard it right here, and that's why we call it the Truth Booth. All right. I see phones are still loaded. Hey, Andrew, Rudy, Jesus, Janine, Kelly. Listen, we'll get you guys next time, all right? We'll do it again. It wasn't that bad. It was fine.
No, I didn't mind it at all.
No, and guess what? We were asked questions, and you just got the truth. In the Truth Booth, the listener-generated edition, here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105, 104.7 FM. All right. I thought it was good. We'll do it again.
No, it's great.
All right. All right, 8:22 at the MJ Morning Show as we roll right along here.
Andrew, tell Janine we're done taking calls.
Now, tell everyone, just let them all go. I mean, just tell them,
We'll do it again.
Thank you. We'll do it again. We'll do it live. We'll do it. We'll do it again. Hey, have you heard about this?
What?
Have you heard about mad honey poisoning?
Mad?
No.
No, I bring this up, and I'm looking right at you, Michelle, because, Michelle, you're
Yeah.
you're a honey freak.
I am.
You know what? I got a text. I had to text our
Alicia from How's Your Day, Honey?
Yeah, I had to text her and see, because you just bought more of her honey at the farmer's market.
At the Mezzo Market?
Yeah, at the Mezzo Market.
That's why we went, is for me to buy the honey.
Yeah. Hang on, let me see. Let me send a note.
So when you say mad honey, is that like mad cow disease?
Hang on a minute. Can we call you with a honey question?
How long does it take you to type?
Dude, I've got my thumbs here on my little phone.
Why don't you speak it into your phone?
So apparently, this guy goes nuts, has like a psychotic episode. So this is a family in Michigan. A Fremont family went missing in 2022. Family just like disappears. So they were then found safe in a hotel 600 miles away. But it's been like 2.5 years now, and the Sirigliano family disappeared after there was a bizarre phone call to 911, and now they're revealing what they believe caused their father's sudden psychotic episode, a total freaking meltdown, and this panic departure. So he collects the whole family. They disappear. They fall off the face of the earth. They're found in a hotel 600 miles away, and apparently it's mad honey.
All right, my wife would not be cool with me saying, pack the whole house up, we're leaving right now, and we're not coming back.
All right, this is insane. But, look, I don't want to get too in the weeds here, but, Michelle, you love honey. You buy honey.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you love buying local honey.
Mhm.
You know, for allergy reasons, you'll try to find, like, South Tampa honey.
Right.
You know, you like the How's My Day honey.
How's your day, honey?
Yeah, you like that. You know, Alicia, a local beekeeper. In New York, you would buy like the Central Park honey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you know, there's a beekeeper that has hives scattered around Manhattan.
Yeah.
That are on rooftops all over the city to get like the different types of you know,
Pollen.
air and pollen. Exactly that thing.
Yeah.
So
The pollution of New York City embraced in
Yeah.
honey. Yeah,
So-
that's what I want.
So the father, Tony Sirigliano, and his wife and the kids, it's believed that Tony went nuts and gathered everyone and fled their house because he had toxic honey or mad honey. And apparently it can be when the honeybees pollinate rhododendrons.
What?
I never heard of this in my life. And Michelle, you use honey and you love honey.
Yeah.
You have tea with honey all the time. Yeah. So a rhododendron is that, you know, flowery kind of plant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've seen these before.
Yeah, I've had these in my yard before.
I feel like I've seen them
Dude,
before.
it's the rhododendron. It's a very common plant.
I
But
have no idea.
if a bee pollinates and makes nectar from rhododendrons, that there's like psychotic chemicals in the plant that then if people ingest the rhododendron honey, it can make them go Looney Tunes.
And I'm reading about it on Wikipedia. Grayanotoxin?
Is that what it
I don't
is?
know how to pronounce. I'm probably
All
totally
right, hold on.
slaughtering
Hold
that
on.
name.
I just texted Alicia. Alicia is the honey lady.
Yeah.
And, you know, she'll go collect hives. Like, we met her because, remember, we had like 20,000 bees on underneath an overhang in our house. And she had to, like, cut some of the soffit out. And then there was a huge hive. And we shot the video. This is way back, like 3 years ago, on my Instagram. But that's how we met Alicia. All right, hold on. I'm going to call Alicia live. And I'm just fascinated by mad honey. You eat the honey, it can make you mad, turn you crazy. But, I mean, Michelle, you've had tons of, well, maybe that explains some of your behavioral issues from time to time. All right, hang on. Let me call up Alicia. Hold on. All right.
I'm reading here. It says the majority of gray anotoxin poisoning cases occur in middle-aged males who use the honey for perceived sexual enhancement.
Really?
That's what it says on Wikipedia.
Well, all right, hang on. That's what happened to Mr. Sirigliano. Alicia.
MJ.
Hey, Alicia, the bee lady. Alicia from How's Your Day Honey, right?
How's your day, honey?
How's your day, honey? And incidentally, we just bought some of your honey. You weren't there, but you had a very friendly young woman selling your honey
yes,
at Kelsey at the Mezzo Market.
That's right.
Yeah,
I'm so glad you bought a jar.
Yeah, we just did. All right, so I don't know if you know what we're talking about. I found this crazy story about a guy that went Looney Tunes, and apparently they said that he had mad honey poisoning.
Oh, I have heard rumors about this.
All right, so apparently the bees pollinated a rhododendron. And all right, so what do you know about this?
I actually don't know a whole lot. I'm sorry. I know rhododendron, it can be toxic, but I'm not sure that it's toxic for bees, but maybe it is.
Well, I don't know if it's toxic for the bees. It seems that the nectar that I guess they
collect.
They bring it back to the hive, and then and they think that they've narrowed it down. But we've had tons of honey. We've had a lot of your honey. Michelle has bought, gallons and gallons of honey over the years, and nothing like this has ever happened to us. And
that's good.
No, it is. I just wanted to see what you knew about the mad honey.
No, I have never heard of anybody becoming sick from mad honey. This is so interesting.
Alicia,
maybe he ingested something else.
Have you ever heard of males using honey for perceived sexual enhancement?
No, is that a thing?
Apparently.
You mean men?
Yeah.
Like human men?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, I know a lot about using honey for sexual enhancement, and all it does is makes everything sticky.
Yeah, that's why Fester's mattress and night tables are all sticky.
It seems hot at first, but much like honey chicken at the Chinese place, it's just really sticky and sweet. It's not
I
as
have
hot
had
as you.
some pretty consistent male customers come on a weekly basis where I've wondered, what do you do with all that honey?
Yeah, there you go. How's everything going? Everything good in bee land?
Everything's great. We just took the bees to the orange groves, and they're about to make orange blossom honey.
Oh, fantastic.
And that's her favorite.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, orange blossom honey is fantastic. All right. Thank you, Alicia. Great to have you back on.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
You too. All right. Man, I saw this. I'm like, holy crap. That's just... Oh, wait a minute. Andrew says I got to take line 5. Who's on 5? Who am I grabbing? All right. Let me grab Mike in Tampa. Mike, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi, Mike in Tampa.
What's happening, guys? I bought some mad honey.
No, I don't think you could buy mad honey. I don't think you're...
I promise you can buy mad honey. And there's different varieties and strengths of this honey. So
hold on. So you can buy mad honey for psycho...
it's mildly hallucinogenic. And it gives you this weird... You take like 2 or 3 tablespoons, and it gives you this weird, like, fuzzy feeling all over. But the stuff that they don't release from those guys that climb the cliffs and harvest the honey from those side of those cliffs. Have you ever seen that?
No, where the hell's that?
So look it up online how they harvest mad honey. It's absolutely crazy. These guys go up and some wear little protective gear on their head, some don't, but they'll go up and the bees will build the hives on the side of these cliffs and these massive big pieces, and they harvest it into baskets. But some of the honey is so potent that if you take enough of it, you can't walk for 24 hours.
That's something I want.
That sounds like a party to me.
But it's crazy. It's about
become paralyzed. That's what I'm into. I'm into like 24-hour paralysis.
All right, so
but I ordered for $150. I ordered 3 big containers or 4 big containers of it, and it's actually just a really pleasant experience. It's like being lightly drunk. But it's the harvesting process is the crazy part.
No, he's absolutely right.
No, Fester just found that you can buy mad honey from Amazon, Walmart, and other online retailers.
I don't know if I'd buy it from Walmart.
It's through their website. It's not like it's in the store.
Yeah,
but here, you're right. It's an 8-ounce bottle.
It's probably a third-party vendor. Oh, my God, an 8-ounce bottle of mad honey for $141?
That's a lot. You can buy it from the actual people. I think it's Nepal but don't quote me on where it's from. But you can order it, and it's honestly it's a really pleasurable
Oh
experience.
yeah, Fester just found Nepal's maddest mad honey, 2 5-ounce jars. That's $114.
But you'll never see the insanely strong stuff. You will never see that over here unless somebody, I don't know, smuggles it in or something like that. But look, there's a guy who tried some of that, and he's like, holy macaroni, it was insane.
And I'm just going to call you Mad Honey Mike from Tampa. Thank you, Mike.
Hey,
all right.
Thanks for the call. Thanks for educating us on it, Mike.
Look at that. Hey, guess who's avoided jail time? Remember the Hooters waitress that got all sexy with the cop?
I remember us talking about the story, but I'd refresh my memory.
Sophia Gabrielle Ross was the Hooters waitress who went viral right here in the Tampa Bay area down in Sarasota. Yeah, she went viral for trying to hit on...
Oh, yeah, she wasn't in the restaurant. She was like pulled over or something. And the body cam footage. Yes, I remember her
and
now.
Tried to offer herself up to the cop to get out of her little DUI situation. Yeah.
What's Michelle? The of judgment from Michelle.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that is the Michelle of judgment that just happened. All right, so Hooters waitress. I wonder if she's still working at Hooters. I wonder if Hooters kept her on staff.
Yeah, I don't think this is a fireable offense for people who serve chicken wings in bikinis or something.
with their boobs hanging out.
Yeah, I mean, they're like, hey.
Do you think she went back to Hooters? Hey, good job. Good job. We'll give you a couple of bonus shifts.
I don't think that happened either, but I don't think she was fired.
So Sophia Gabrielle Ross is the Hooters waitress. She went big old viral across the country, actually worldwide, because of her flirting and her getting all sexy with that Sarasota cop during her DUI arrest. And apparently it is official now. She is not going to do any jail time. Her lawyer told TMZ that she finally faced a judge and she escaped the 60-day jail sentence that the prosecutors were trying to get down in Sarasota County. Instead, she's going to walk away with a year of probation, random drug tests, 50 hours of community service. By the way, she's already knocked out her DUI school hours, so she had to go to like a DUI driving school.
Yeah.
So that's already done. Her lawyer told TMZ that she's beyond grateful to have avoided jail time, and she's relieved to put the episode behind her. Well, the audio and the video still live forever, so that's not quite behind you. Calling the whole situation super stressful. And remember, called the officer daddy and wanted to make out with it. Was it a city of Sarasota police officer, or was it a Sarasota County Sheriff's Office?
I don't remember. I'll look it up.
Can you look that up for me? Michelle, don't bash your headphones into the microphone.
No, Michelle, do it again. It sounded great.
Do it again. Hey, here's the classic audio of Sophia Gabrielle Ross.
All I can really say is...
Oh, hang on. Is that the right one?
So that sounds like it was a press conference.
I really want people to learn from my mistake.
Hey, where's the body cam audio, Andrew? That's what I wanted. I want the actual... Where's the actual event audio that we played? Oh, is that it there as well? Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Where we go?
So this is from the Sarasota Police Department.
Oh, yeah, I got it. Okay.
Oh, I have the whole body cam here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No, I've got two audio clips. Yeah, that was her commenting after the arrest. All right, hold on a second. Let me put this in here. Hang on a minute. Let me. So I want to play because I want to refresh my memory on this.
Oh.
Yeah, here it is. This is the audio of her from the body cam from. It was Sarasota Police Department, so it was not the sheriff's office. And she had a point. Was it a .318? Andrew says she had a .3. Are you sure it was a .3?
That's pretty drunk.
Fox 13 said she had a .318. Holy crap. All right, here's the body cam.
Oh.
You all right?
Yes.
What's your first name?
Sophia.
We are going to investigate a DUI.
I am under the influence, but I did not drive. Swear to God.
But you were driving.
I was not.
Okay, do you want to try this first exercise for me?
I will do anything for you, Daddy. We're going to make...
I will do anything for you, Daddy. Oh, that was the come hither voice, too. I will do anything for you, Daddy.
Get out here. We're gonna make out here.
No, we're not.
Can't keep my hands off him. Sorry.
Unfortunately, you're gonna have to. Everything that we
Don't be such a nerd, bro.
Don't be such a nerd, bro. The cop's saying everything we're doing is on body cam.
And that body cam is public record.
I am a nerd. Show it to the body cam. I am a nerd.
But anything we do is...
I am a nerd, bro.
Oh, man.
This is great.
Daddy. No, it's not.
She needs a reality show.
No, she doesn't. Don't celebrate her DUI.
Oh, listen, she's past that and she's moving on.
All right, and then here's the other audio bite that I started inadvertently. All right, so here was her commenting after the fact.
All I can really say is that I really want people to learn from my mistake. I do have a lot of people, reiterating the fact that it was a stupid decision. It was a poor choice.
That's true.
But I think it's really important to, I've been trying to stay positive. I think it's important to stay positive about the entire thing. And, I do have a really good support system, friends and family.
Listen, I hope that Sophia Gabrielle Ross, hopefully she uses this as a learning experience and that she will stay sober and not drive under the influence again. What? So, Michelle, as a former Hillsborough County State Attorney's Office prosecutor, you did many DUI cases.
Yeah.
Would you like to weigh in from a legal standpoint?
Sounds like she just got the standard, first offense sentencing guidelines.
Right.
And, if she learns her lesson, but she's lucky she didn't hit somebody or hurt somebody.
Absolutely.
I mean, 0.318, was she working and was drinking on the job, or was she just there partying? Because, she looks like she's dressed for work.
Yeah, it looks like she was coming off of a shift or something.
Exactly.
Or is she just wearing the Hooters sweater? I don't see her in her orange shorts.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. However, MJ, what if
No, because in the video, in the body cam, she lifts up the sweatshirt and she's wearing the
white tank top?
She's wearing the tank. Okay. She is wearing the white tank underneath. You can see she lifts up the gray Hooters sweatshirt and she's got the white tank underneath, with the boobs popping out.
She's wearing sweatpants, so she's covering her uniform attire.
Yeah.
Right.
But MJ, what if she doesn't have another DUI and TLC calls her and does serving wings with Sophia and just follows her around the Hooters? That'd be a great show.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a great show.
I'd watch it.
That would keep my attention for multiple seasons. What are you talking about?
I'd watch that show. A bunch of cute girls serving wings.
Yeah. But listen, she appears to be getting her act together. I think this is a big learning experience at a very young age. But the video of her, that body cam video, will live on the internets forever.
But Fester,
hey,
you don't have to watch a show to go see hot girls serving wings. You can go to your local Hooters and just
it's like the
sit around.
behind the scenes stuff, all the trash they talk about. I show up.
But listen to this. When she gets married and has kids, let's say,
big deal.
Her kids are going to be in 6th grade, and the kids' friends are going to be whipping out the video of Mom from 2024.
All right.
Yep.
Or was it 2024 and 2025 when the arrest happened?
I think
recently. Was it early January?
Yeah, January 6th is the video.
She wasn't doing dry January, was she?
No, she was not. Right. No, she was not. But she was just getting an early jump on effed up February. is what she was. 0.318. Holy crap! I forgot.
She should run for Congress.
All right. Speaking of alcohol,
listen
to this. We know the flight was out of Houston. This is from the United Airlines subreddit. Again, Reddit has everything. Oh, did I see also that Reddit might start charging people money to become part of certain Reddit groups?
Oh.
Yeah, it looks like Reddit might be looking at a different business model to start charging people for, posting or reading.
What types of groups?
I don't know. I don't think that's been determined yet. But from the United Airlines Reddit forum, a passenger is telling the story of something that happened on the flight. Listen to this. I have had my first interaction with a seat stealer. So we know the flight is out of Houston. The flyer was on a United Airlines regional flight, and it was a 1 and 2 configuration, so a 1 and a 2, and witnessed a woman trying to sit in a different passenger's seat. The person writes in the Reddit thread, quote, she gathers up 3 personal items of hers and moves back 4 rows to the A exit row across from me. So on the left side, it's like a 1. I'm trying to figure out which airplane this is, but I've definitely been on this configuration. 1 seat on the left and then 2 seats on the right. And so it was an exit row. So she moves back 4 rows to the exit row, an A seat across from this guy. After about 30 seconds, she turns to me and asks if I think she can stay there. I told her most likely not. I think it's a sold-out flight and that somebody's going to be coming for that seat. She puts her stuff away, and you know it, 2 minutes later, along comes the actual person that has that seat and informs her, hey, I think you're in my seat. So then the whole process starts over again of her trying to find a different seat. So the user said the woman was successful, but apparently she tells the guy that I did not want to sit next to my husband because he's drunk. And I don't want to have to deal with him for the whole flight. So the husband is somewhere else on the airplane.
Yeah.
I guess forward, because she moved back.
Right.
4 rows or so. And the husband is drunk. So listen to this. The woman then talks the passenger into taking her seat up front.
Next to the drunk husband.
Yeah,
so he's got to sit next to the drunk husband.
Exactly. So some other unsuspecting passenger that agrees to swap seats is now being put next to this woman's drunk husband.
Yeah, no thanks.
On the airplane. Is that unbelievable?
I'm not sure that that's wise, because what if the husband is so drunk that then, like, you know, it escalates to like an event?
The guy on Reddit writes, so the dude she conned out of his seat had to sit next to her drunk husband for the entire flight. And you know what I hate? You know when someone has like the drunk beer or liquor breath?
Yeah.
And they're just breathing, and just their breathing, it just fills the air around you with that that stale, kind of drunk alcohol smell.
You don't like that smell?
Oh, no.
It's not for you.
Oh, no. I hate that smell. Because you can always tell when, even like the next day. Like I've known people that were just, they hit it hard.
And they have that stale breath of booze.
Even the next day, while they're not liquored up, they don't have any residual blood alcohol, amount in their system, but they just have that. They're just breathing. They breathe out. They exhale that I drank a whole lot last night smell.
But what if the husband got angry then that he wasn't sitting next to the wife, and then he gets into it with this unwitting, passenger who got conned?
Hey.
Who's in the best position to like quell him or stifle his,
handcuff him to the seat, man.
And
break out the duct tape.
Break out the nylon zip ties.
That's right.
Yeah, and the duct tape. But, what if he got all handsy and gropey? He's so drunk he didn't realize that it wasn't his wife next to him.
That too.
It was a guy named Fred with a beard, But that's pretty rude. To saddle somebody else with your drunk husband on the flight while you try to change rows? You try to change seats? What do you say? Rude?
Rude.
That's
very rude.
That's Michelle. Rude. All right, listen to this. Guy orders Uber Eats and freaks out because a guy delivers it when apparently he was alerted that a woman was delivering his food.
Huh.
What the hell's that about?
That's suspicious.
Really? So the guy freaks out and starts screaming that you're putting people at risk. So he's expecting a woman, because listen, I've never used Uber Eats. But when I've used Uber or Lyft, you get a picture of your driver
Right.
You know, it tells you what they're picking you up in, what type of car. You sometimes get a picture of the car.
What their name is.
The name, the picture, the license.
Yeah.
The license tag.
It even says, please check tag before entering vehicles
Right.
sometimes.
So apparently with Uber Eats, you're also notified who's delivering your tacos, your
whatever.
burrito, your whatever.
They deliver more than Mexican food, you know.
All right, well,
Hey, tacos and burritos. They deliver everything.
whatever.
Jimmy John's.
Your cheese. Oh, I got a Jimmy John story too. Oh yeah, I gotta find my Jimmy John story.
So, but what's the issue here? So he was expecting the female, so then maybe he would think something suspicious about the male arriving instead of the female?
Expecting a female driver. He was instead met by a middle-aged man, and he's like going, what the hell's going on here? So he's all suspicious. Where's my female driver that the app said?
I mean, I don't want anybody knocking on my house, especially after off hours. I mean, if I'm expecting somebody and I know who it's going to be because they're going to pick up my order and it's somebody completely different.
Right.
I mean, I'm thinking I'm the worst for them. Maybe something happened to the driver.
Yeah.
I don't think a kidnapper would finish her orders.
Yeah, so I'm looking at a screenshot, and he orders Uber Eats, and he gets picking up your order, estimated arrival 21:25, latest arrival 21:35, shared delivery PIN, and there's a PIN number 7623. See, I'm not up to speed or aware of like the Uber Eats process, but then it has a picture of Sadia, Sadia, driving a Honda, and she has an 86% rating with a thumbs up. And the guy's all freaking out that some middle-aged dude and not some, younger, 20-something-year-old woman who's delivering his food. So what is it, like her dad? Was her dad?
Yeah.
So, MJ, I just got a text from somebody who delivers for Uber Eats, and she said that it can switch delivery people depending on who accepts the order first and then who's closer. Like if somebody's
But then why did he get a notification that Sadia or Sadia?
Sadia might have accepted the order first,
right,
but then somebody else was closer and then picked the order up, and he didn't get the correspondence. So according to this Uber Eats driver, it happens frequently, but still it's weird if you're expecting somebody to be at your door, you're looking for somebody particular, and that's not who shows up.
I don't do Uber Eats. Listen, if you deliver, then listen, I've got nothing against you doing the gig work. But, I don't do Uber Eats. And remember, I demonstrated to Chloe. Chloe wanted to Uber Eats a burrito. Was it a burrito or tacos? Whatever it was.
Tacos.
Tacos.
That's why you have tacos on the brain.
Listen,
Uber Eats.
Well, listen, because, I told the story. If you haven't heard it, I'll tell it in 30 seconds. Chloe's like, Dad, I'm ordering Uber Eats. I'm getting Chipotle delivered to the house. I said, the hell you are. So Chloe decides she wants tacos. I'm like, Chloe, the freaking Chipotle is 0.8 of a mile up the road, and that might be long. That might be overestimating. The Chipotle is right up the road on West Shore, across from the mall.
30 seconds is up.
Yeah, and Chloe walks into the Chipotle, gets her tacos with tax. I think it was $10.43.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? With Uber Eats having the same $10.43 worth of tacos delivered, the Uber Eats was going to be like, I think it was like $21 or $22 without the gratuity, without the tip. So what? It would have been like $26 or $27 if you give 20%. So $10.43 or $26. You do the math. Is it worth getting off your fat ass and driving 0.8 of a mile up to the Chipotle to pick up your own food? Yeah, Dad says yes.
You're a minute over.
And then remember the Chinese food.
Yes.
Remember Chloe, another. Well, the clock resets because this is a different one. So the Chinese food.
Yeah.
She wanted to like Uber Eats Chinese food in, and I can't remember the exact numbers, but it was like, what, $74 to have the Chinese food delivered to the house?
Right.
And we went down there, and we picked up the Chinese food for like $38 or something.
Yeah.
The same exact stuff, but it was that much cheaper by picking it up yourself. So, and then you mentioned Jimmy John's.
Yes.
You provided a very nice segue for me.
You're welcome.
Yeah, of course, this is a Florida story. A guy arrested for throwing an explosive at Jimmy John's? What the hell? Yes!
What happened to Jimmy John's?
What the hell did Jimmy John do to this guy that he's got to throw an incendiary device inside Jimmy John's. What could possibly happen? Yeah, Pensacola guy. This is in Okaloosa County. A man from Pensacola is facing all kinds of trouble. He opened up a whoop-ass can of trouble for allegedly threatening people with a gun and then throwing a small explosive device into a Jimmy John's in Fort Walton Beach. Yeah, deputies with the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office arrested 41-year-old Gregory Simmons over the weekend, according to an arrest report. Yeah, he went to the Emerald Coast Harley-Davidson around 2 p.m. and pointed a gun at members of a motorcycle club. Yeah, you try that with Sons of Anarchy and see what happens.
Really?
Yeah. The report says as he was driving away, he threw something out of his vehicle, which exploded outside a nearby Jimmy John's. The explosion shattered several windows. Oh, my God. I wonder if it exploded and broke the Free Smells neon sign in the window of Jimmy John's.
You don't even need this sign if the window's gone.
Just the smell wafts right out onto the road. Oh, that's disgusting. Who would throw a little bomb at Jimmy John's?
Leave Jimmy alone.
Anyway, this guy's in trouble.
That son of a bitch Jersey Mike, that's a different story.
Yeah, that Jersey Mike sold out to private equity.
Jersey Mike.
Screw Jersey Mike. No, I'm kidding. I've got nothing against Jersey. But the Jersey Mike guy just sold the company for like $8 billion.
They fired Danny DeVito first. First budget cut.
All right, 8:53 at the MJ Morning Show. This brings to a close over an hour and 20 minutes of non-stop MJ. Hey, what is the 20-minute activity that you can do to get in shape? Anyone can do this. 20-minute activity that you can do starting like today. You can start it right now. 20-minute activity that could whip you into shape. You got to hear this. And there's no trick here. Does it work? You'll find out next on the MJ Morning Show on Q105, 104.7 FM. Show, and the final hour begins right now. In just a matter of moments, worst wedding ever. Actually, I've got two crazy wedding stories. Two crazy. One is absolutely the worst. Well, I guess they're both really bad, but one is considerably worse than the other. Worst weddings in just a matter of moments. You got to hear these items in just a second. Stand by. So what is this? What is this 20 minutes of exercise you can do to get yourself in shape? And anyone can do this. You don't need anything. You don't even need a chair. You know how they do chair thrusts or chair squats or whatever.
Chair aerobics and stuff. I've seen that stuff.
You don't have to go out and buy all kinds of Nautilus equipment and the pulley and rubber bands that attach to your doorknob. You don't have to buy anything. Listen to this. Do it in your kitchen. Do it in your laundry room. Do it in your office.
What is it?
A 20-minute dance a day will keep you in better shape.
Okay.
So you're in the kitchen. You just start dancing around. What do you mean? Just start moving and dancing.
I mean,
Put the radio on, jam out to some Q105, the 80s, 90s, and more. And, just jam out a little bit and just dance around for 20 minutes a day.
Or just jog in place.
I guess it would, do the same thing.
It's essentially, it's just movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, just move your lethargic body.
But it's a little more than just walking around. I'm doing it on MJ TV. It's a little more than just walking around.
Yeah, you move your shoulders.
What are you laughing at?
Do your walk again?
Oh.
You're right. You're like loafing. Like the look on your face. You're like, I'm just walking around. Yeah.
Like if Frankenstein had a slow son.
Yeah. Very good, Fester.
Yeah, that's what
it's
it
a
looks
perfect description.
Here's Fester's music.
But you know what? You can dance to this.
You
can.
Yeah. Play this for 20 minutes.
Yeah, you can. Absolutely. No, but seriously, just dance around a little. So, for instance, I'm going to take the kitchen. You're cooking in the kitchen. You're doing stuff. Just dance around for 20 minutes. And that they say is enough to hit your your exercise targets according to medical experts. Just dance around for 20 minutes.
I mean, they ask you when you go to doctor's appointments, how would you describe your lifestyle? And then the last answer is always like, sedentary.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fester. Yeah. Fester. Paint on wall.
It's like,
describe your lifestyle.
It's like, what do you do for exercise? And I said, walk.
Yeah.
And you go, how far? I was like, I don't know, 20 yards.
Describe your lifestyle. Boulder in National Park.
That's about it.
That's Fester's lifestyle. No, but seriously, the recommendation from many is 150 minutes of moderate to vigorous exercise per week. And then if you just kind of dance around in your kitchen, that's considered sort of moderate.
Stop.
Yes.
Did they specifically say in the kitchen? Or are you adding that? Because I just cannot imagine that the kitchen is the safest place to start this little exercise.
You're not going to throw yourself
dancing in the kitchen. Well, we would have like a fire.
Hot oil flying everywhere.
I mean, honestly.
What, am I going to fall into the knife rack?
Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna marry Catherine Gallagher into the knife rack.
I think that's the worst place to try this.
Well, also, Michelle, they're not talking about like break dancing in the kitchen. They're talking about just kind of moving around, moving your shoulders, moving your hips.
Let's say you work at Popeyes. Break dance around the hot oil fryers.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Right. I don't think that's a good idea.
Scientists from Northeastern University in Boston. It's a school that's still outstanding for Chloe, right? Yeah, that's
possibly.
Yeah, maybe.
You don't want to live there.
No, but seriously, scientists from Northeastern University in Boston recruited 48 participants aged 18 to 83. With a range of rhythmic experience, asked them to take part in 5-minute bouts of dancing. So with the quick dancing, and this is just 5 minutes,
right?
Oxygen intake and heart rate were measured to determine intensity of the exercise during the sessions, and data show all participants reached at least a moderate physical activity level. Just a little bit of dancing. That's it. So if you're doing household chores, just start moving around and dancing instead of, doing the lumbering Fester, And you're going to hit your exercise targets and maybe keep yourself in shape by, anabolically, right?
Yeah.
So just a little heads up. I thought that was very, very fascinating. All right. And then we've got the wedding stuff. Oh, wait a sec. Andrew wants. Yes.
No, but somebody just texted me, Richard Simmons dancing to the oldies. That was the thing.
Sweating to the oldies. Sweating to the oldies. Yeah. Come on, man. Get it right.
I never bought the Richard Simmons stuff. But.
Yeah, either did I. Oh, you know what? You should have bought the dealer meal cards. That might have worked for you.
I would have used them to play poker.
You would have eaten the dealer meal cards.
I will raise you a Salisbury steak.
You would have smeared peanut butter on.
No salad.
All right, so on to the wedding stories. Man, you want to talk about, I've got 2 wedding stories. They're both sucky stories. But yeah, what?
Why are we doing them if they're sucky stories?
No. Because listen, you gotta talk about things and just to be aware of it. Can you imagine this? A 32-year-old Illinois woman was at the altar late on Saturday afternoon last weekend when from a neighbor's yard said Eleni Vretos of Cicero, Illinois. Everything was just smoke at that point. All family members who lived in the home were at the ceremony when the explosion occurred.
Yeah, thank God.
But investigators announced Sunday that the remains of an unidentified person had been found in the rubble. So somebody did get blowed up.
Oh, no, Grandma.
Grandma got blowed up during the wedding.
Yeah, when that groom said the wedding night's going to be really hot.
Somebody got blowed up. Oh, God. What the hell? So, again, all family members who lived in the home were at the wedding ceremony, but a body was found in the... I wonder if it was a burglar or something.
Somebody went to set it, or somebody broke into the... You know, we talked about these athletes are getting their houses broke into.
Yeah, if somebody knew that they were all going to be at the wedding, that would be a time to break in and rob the place, or maybe they had a score to settle.
You turn the oven on and make yourself some ramen noodles, then you light a cigarette and the whole thing blows up.
Mrs. Vretos told WGN television in Chicago that inside the home were her 4 beloved cats. That sucks.
Poor cats.
Yeah, just after 4:50 p.m. on Saturday, the explosion was caught on several surveillance cameras belonging to nearby homes and businesses. Debris, bricks, other items from inside the home was hurled all over the neighborhood, across the roadway. It hit vehicles. So bricks from the house slammed into the side of cars, through windows and everything. Oh, my God.
Did she have a new home on her registry? Because if she did, that'd be appropriate.
No, it looks like it might be a family member.
In the house?
Hold on. This story from WGN says that all members who lived in the home were at the ceremony.
Well, let's go
hold on.
There's like an in-law that has a son with the bride's sister, and he hasn't been seen since.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the WGN seemed to indicate in this story that all family members who lived in the home were at the ceremony.
Yeah, he left the ceremony.
Who lived in
Hold on, he left the ceremony as she's walking down the aisle?
He hasn't been seen since he took his mother's car and left the celebration.
Why would he leave the celebration?
To blow up the house?
To go blow up the house.
What the?
Duh.
Yeah, listen, this is getting thicker. Oh, yeah.
You're really a bad investigator.
This is getting more suspicious. Yeah, within seconds, neighbors said it was an inferno, massive flames, smoke billowing from the collapsed building. Vredas, who just minutes before was celebrating her wedding, started getting calls as the ceremony was ending at 5 o'clock. We weren't sure if it was us. Either way, we were devastated to know it was near us. My niece left the church and confirmed, yes, it was our house. Wow. She and her brother recently took ownership of the home after it had been her mother's and in her name for nearly 40 years. My God, they were planning to help with updates and renovations. Yeah, they really need a renovation now. Holy crap.
It's a whole do-over. Whole rebuild.
Yeah, so this story doesn't say that it was a parent. So why'd the relative leave the wedding?
Well, he's not really a relative. He had a kid with the bride's sister. So he's sort of like
so it's not a
he's
family
like an
member.
in-law.
Like a brother-in-law.
Right. He's like a brother-in-law, but not even.
But not really a brother-in-law.
Yeah,
a baby daddy brother-in-law.
But he was at the celebration, but then he left.
It's a date of a relative, essentially.
Who he had a child with.
Yeah, talk about the wrong freaking place at the wrong freaking time. Unless, I don't know, maybe they went home to smoke a crack pipe or something and lit the natural gas on fire.
I've been to a couple of weddings that were so boring. I would rather be in an exploding home. I'd rather be exploded, just than sit through 10 more minutes.
Name a wedding.
Froggies. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say your own.
All right, and then we have the second wedding story.
Yes.
And, God, this has got to suck. Oh, this is terrible. You have a wedding ceremony with a screaming, crying baby? Yeah, I feel bad for this person. Listen to this.
But I'm the only one that knows them. And one of the questions I asked was, when did you know you were in love and wanted to spend the rest of your life together as husband and wife? Okay. Claire, you look beautiful today. And Josh, you don't look too shabby yourself.
So this is the pastor, and you got the baby crying in the background. And apparently it was supposed to be a kid-free adult wedding.
Yeah, that's why.
And one of the guests brought the baby, and the baby is just crying. Here, listen to this.
First and foremost, I'm incredibly honored to be up here with you both today. For those of you who don't know, my wife, Hope, and I had the privilege of leading Josh and Claire through premarital counseling earlier this year.
I thought it was going to say premarital sex.
Yes. All right, Josh, this is how you do it.
We spent about 8 weeks together and discussed some of the hard-hitting topics that we all face as we enter into marriage. So before today, I asked each of you...
Take the freaking baby out of the room!
All right, so...
I mean, why did the person with the crying baby in the background, the whole thing's being videoed, so for eternity, you're going to have the crying freaking baby while you're doing the vows, while the pastor's doing the whole little spiely setup?
Would you rather be 3 rows away from the crying baby listening to that boring pastor, or in an exploding house?
Exploding house.
Me too.
Yeah, I'll take exploding
Yeah,
house.
no question.
Yeah.
Every 10 times out of 10.
You know what? Hurl my body parts all over the road. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fling my head through a windshield of a car across the street.
I mean, if those are the 2 options, I'll take the explosion.
Listen, take the freaking baby out of the venue.
Yeah,
Take him
rude.
into the freaking parking lot.
Rude.
Why are they still staying in there with the minute you just take the baby out? First of all, you weren't supposed to bring the baby.
Right.
A few questions about each other. And by the way, these answers were shared separately, so I'm the only person that knows them, I guess, besides my wife, who, God bless her soul, has listened to me practice this about 50 times.
Shut your kid up!
Shut that
the last
pastor
few
up.
weeks. But I'm the only one that knows them. And one of the questions...
Listen to the kid. I mean, how long does the kid have to yell and scream before they take the damn kid out of the chapel? Oh my God! And who's the guest? If I'm the bride, I would brain her. You know?
Terrible.
I would grab them by the hair and start ramming their head into one of the tables at the reception.
Yeah, well, I can tell you right now, this new couple, they don't want children anytime soon.
Right, for
I
sure.
asked was, when did you know you were in love and wanted to spend the rest of your life together as husband and wife? Claire, here's how you answered my question.
Can you imagine that, Michelle?
No, like and in today's world where everything is videotaped, recorded,
Yes.
you know, you have that forever. You're hoping to have that memory forever and that it should be a nice, pleasant one. And as you're watching it, you know, on your 10th anniversary or 20th anniversary, all you have is that kid screaming in the background.
And the ruinous memories are just, they come back over and over and over again.
All right, maybe it'll become funny. Have you ever watched the video of your wedding? It's like the most boring thing. You're just looking for dead relatives.
I've never watched the video of our
Go back.
wedding.
We haven't.
Go back.
We
Why
have
don't you guys
not.
do that? You guys have it on video.
Oh
of
my
course,
God,
right?
where?
Do we even have it on video?
We do.
Why don't you watch the
yeah.
video of your wedding this weekend, and all you'll really look for dead relatives. That's about it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like how awful everything was and how corny everything was.
There's a listener of ours that does old video transfers like Hi8 and DV Cam and VHS and Beta. And what else do I have? I've got a bunch of formats. So there's a listener of ours that will transfer all of our video.
Why?
That's cool.
Yeah, and he'll digitize it. So
Why?
What?
Why?
So we could put it on Instagram and exploit you even more, Michelle?
Don't you want all the great Hi8 video of our Africa trip digitized?
That, yes.
Well, hello. Yes.
Wedding?
Yeah.
Wedding.
Yeah.
Wedding.
So we're gonna digitize. I gotta call him because every like 3 months, he's like, MJ, I'm still here. I'm ready to transfer your stuff. And I'm like, I know. I want to do it. But I do thank him for being persistent because I do.
He's texting me right now. Hernandez Video Service.
Oh, is that really?
Yeah, James.
Oh,
Hernandez. He's like, tell MJ it's me.
He's listening right now.
That's your weekend project, buddy.
It's what is it? Hernandez.
Yeah, Hernandez Video Services.
Hernandez Video Services.
Tell MJ he's talking about me.
Yeah, I am. I'm talking about you, dude. I am. So I got to get all my stuff digitized. All right. Hernandez Video Services, and he has all formats. I've got some old beta tapes. Like my friends and I would shoot like spoof videos, and I've got them on old like Betamax tapes.
Yeah, how awful are those segments?
Oh, I want to see those stuff that we did like when we were 12, 13 years old on Betamax video. All right, 9:20 at the MJ Morning Show. When we return, it's the final chunk of the MJ Morning Show. Local story. What has happened? We've got the final chapter. Do you remember the gentle dentist up in the Villages?
Oh yeah.
With the golf club?
Who slammed the guy over there? It's the gentle dentist. Yeah. Oh, the transfer guy's on hold. Hang on a minute. So we got an update on the gentle dentist who attacked the guy with a golf club on a golf course up in the Villages. We got a final disposition of the case. Can't wait to hear this. And you know what, Fester? People do the darndest things in those Goodwill collection boxes.
I think that all the time.
You know, people put the darndest things in there. And I got a whole bunch of pills. What Bill Cosby?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I was doing kids do the darndest things. You know,
we get it.
You got it. Yeah, people put the darndest things in the Goodwill collection donation boxes. What line is Hernandez video on? Line 2. Good morning. It's MJ.
Good morning, MJ.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm waiting here. I've got cobwebs and leaves growing. Waiting for you. No, we're good.
I know. I promise I'll be utilizing. And do you have Betamax?
I do it all, man. I am a one-stop shop. I do all consumer formats, professional formats, not just video, audio, film. If you remember the old 8mm Super 8, 60mm film.
Oh, yeah.
Photos, slides. I got a lady that had, her father was a photographer and put everything on slides, 5,000 slides.
Oh, my God. All right.
Yeah, I'm like, holy mackerel. It was cool to watch it, though.
And are you in Lutz? Where are you located?
I'm in Wesley Chapel.
Wesley Chapel. All right. So
I even offered to come to the studio because I've been at the studio because I was looking into advertising on your show. But so I've been there. I know what the studio is.
Yeah,
so I offered even to come and pick it up. Because my daughter lives in St. Pete, not far from me.
All right, listen, I promise we're going to hook up shortly because I do want to get all of our old videos digitized, okay?
Yeah. All right, Mike.
All right, send me another email.
I will.
All right, thanks, man. Look at that. I love the fact he's listening. See, I'm not making crap up. What you hear is real. You're on the MJ Morning Show. All right, so final chunk, MJ Morning Show is next, and just a lot to cram in here in the final minutes. 9:22 at the MJ Morning Show. Zero Res is. Jay Fester, Michelle in the house. And the final chunk here on a Tuesday. If you missed yesterday's show because you were off yesterday and you weren't in your regular pattern, you can always go back and listen to the entire show on yesterday's podcast or watch us on MJTV. We're like a, multi modal,
multimodal.
Yeah, what's the word I'm looking for? We're
medium.
Thank you, multimedia. That's what I was looking for.
I like multimodal better.
We have multiple modes of communicating this program. Is what I'm trying to say. All right, we've got vindication for the dentist. Unbelievably. The gentle dentist. Wasn't that his whole deal? He has a gentle dentistry practice up in the villages.
I mean, every town has that one dentist that. The gentle dentist. But if you're afraid of coming, come to me.
Well, like the sedation dentist, will knock you out with laughing gas or something.
I don't know. I saw a 2020 episode on a sedation dentist. I don't go to them.
How? Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't go to them.
Listen.
I'll stay awake, thank you.
There's only a few fondlers, okay? There's only a few.
No, thank
all right, listen. Listen, the overwhelming number of dentists or those that do sedation dentistry or dentists or doctors that put you out or whatever. Listen, the bulk of they're good, they're professionals, and they do everything by the book.
Is that right?
Yeah. So I would rather have my teeth fall out than go to a sedation dentist.
Oh, you stop it, Fester.
I love how you're giving this whole big, this like dentists are great. When's the last time you've been to the dentist?
It's been a while.
Outside of the tooth being extracted, when was the last time?
Well, I saw Dr. Childers because I had the chip in my tooth, and he fixed the chip in my tooth.
Okay.
That I whacked with a fork.
Outside of an emergent situation where a friend who happens to be a dentist helped you, when's the last time you were at a dentist for a regular routine visit that the rest of us go to see a dentist for?
Oh, 12 years.
More.
Maybe more, yeah.
listen, Dr. Childers said, hey, your teeth look great.
Oh, okay.
Listen, I use baking soda toothpaste. I use the Sonicare. And listen, I would go to the dentist to get my teeth cleaned, and every single time they're like, hey, did you just have your teeth cleaned somewhere else? I'm like, no. You know what? Guess what? I don't need when you go to the dentist and the dental hygienist says, did you just have your teeth cleaned? I'm like, no, and guess what? I don't need to come here anymore if I'm getting such great results with my Sonicare and Arm & Hammer baking soda and peroxide toothpaste. Hey, where the hell? Oh, the Gentle Dentist.
The Villages.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's just something hysterical about a guy that has a gentle dentistry practice whooping somebody over the head with a golf club. That's just funny. That's comedy right there. It's comedy gold, which is, by the way, about $3,000 an ounce now. All right, so here's the deal. The local dentist up in the Villages, friendliest hometown, as you get clocked over the head with a golf club. Well, he's been vindicated. Local dentist claiming self-defense has been vindicated in the golf course altercation, according to the Villages News. Dr. Eddie Orobidge. I don't know how to say it. It's O-R-O. I think I got the Oro right?
Yeah, Oro.
And then it's B-I-T-G. Orobidge. It's like Pete Buttigieg.
Ortobidge.
You know?
Ortobidge.
Ortobidge.
Yeah, that sounds right.
All right, so Eddie Ortobidge practices dentistry in Leesburg, Florida, was arrested in 2023 after the altercation on the golf course at Harbor Hills and Lady Lake. Justice finally served in the case earlier this month when Judge Heidi Davis dismissed the felony charge of him going all PGA on this guy's head. Yeah, he was charged with felony aggravated battery in an interview at his dental office.
Here's the interview.
Oh, you have it?
Yeah.
The Gentle Dentistry office.
He's giving the interview in scrubs.
Yeah. So in the interview at his office in Leesburg, the 54-year-old said he's grateful that his year-and-a-half nightmare is finally over. All right, listen, play the audio. Go.
The fact that the judge vindicated our story and the truth came out that I'm innocent and I was never the attacker to begin with, and the fact that if you look at the ruling, it's self-defense, which implies that he was the attacker. And when the truth comes out, there's just a tremendous amount of weight that finally just relieves you. You feel weightless, and you can go about your life. And what I mean by that is, I mean, I've always loved being a dad, and a husband, and
The Gentle Dentist.
Yeah.
So what's that song? When the truth comes out, da-da-da. What song is that, Michelle?
I have no idea.
Did that song have anything to do with dentists?
No, he just said when the truth comes out. It kind of just jarred a memory. Anyway, so the doc has been vindicated. The nightmare is behind him. But just the image of a gentle dentist whacking some guy over the head with a golf club.
It wasn't just some guy. It was a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
And the judge pretty much said that he lacked credibility.
That the psychiatrist had a screw loose?
Yeah.
You should probably see somebody for that.
I don't remember that part of the story.
Oh, it's right here.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What a story.
Now that I see the doctor in person, he seems quite reasonable.
Yeah, the other guy was the other guy was a doctor, but it doesn't say in my story. It doesn't say he was a psychiatrist.
Oh, he's a psychiatrist.
Yeah, Dr. Joseph Sivak, who had been walking with his wife. Harsh words, including profanity, were exchanged. Ortobig spit on Sivak. Sivak hit Orobidge in the head with a water bottle, knocking his prescription glasses off his face. Ooh. At one point, both Sivak and Orobidge, you got two doctors going at it.
Yeah.
That's comedy.
Leesburg's a tough town.
Yeah. Anyway, so the Gentle Dentist has now been vindicated. So people put the darndest things in the donation boxes at the Goodwill. What is something that would be one of the darndest things that somebody would put? And apparently this happens quite a bit. I mean, what? So this particular item found in Goodwill donation box prompted an emergency evacuation, and apparently it happens more than you would believe. that the authorities say that it's oddly common. What?
All right.
What do you think it is? Just take a guess.
One thing comes to mind, and I don't know that it would prompt an evacuation.
Oh, no. Dude, then you have the wrong damn thing. Then don't even waste my time with your lousy guess.
Okay, fine. I'll keep it to myself.
What was your lousy guess?
Mom or dad's ashes?
Oh, that sucks. No. Come on. How would that cause an evacuation?
That's what
Come
well,
on.
because I prefaced the whole thing. I don't think it would cause an evacuation.
What would you put in a Goodwill donation box that would potentially cause an evacuation?
Chemicals.
No, that's not it. That's a grenade.
Yes! Yes! And authorities are saying that people putting hand grenades in the Goodwill donation boxes is, quote, oddly common.
Dude, I went to the Army-Navy store a couple of weeks ago near my house, right? I took my son Hudson there to look at all the stuff, and they were selling, like, pineapple grenades with the bottom cord out, but I guess they're metal.
What?
The grenade for $20.
Yeah. Did you buy him one?
Well,
Do you want one?
They're called practice grenades or dummy grenades.
Okay.
And the bottom is the hollow cylinder without the explosive device to blow the pineapple-shaped grenade to bits and throw shrapnel everywhere.
I thought it was like grenade paperweights. I understand why it's shaped that way, but he comes at me, hey, Dad, look at this.
What about some of your grenade dates back in the days?
The best.
All right.
Wait, did you buy him one?
A grenade date? I will.
No, did you buy Hudson a grenade?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, watch. He'll bring it to school for show and tell. Whole freaking school's
I
evacuated.
told Hudson a bad joke one time, and he won't let me live it down. I told him for Halloween he could be I told him I wanted a simple costume for Halloween, and I said you could be the Unabomber.
Oh my God. What are you insane?
He went to school talking about being the Unabomber.
Oh my God. Are you serious? What's the matter with you?
My wife lit into me for that. I mean, glasses and a little hoodie, a little
Easy.
pencil mustache.
Simple.
So the workers at a Goodwill store up in Maine, it's a Goodwill in Augusta. A spokesperson for Goodwill Northern New England said that there was a military grade grenades and mortars that somebody left in the donation box. What?
Were they live? Were they active? I mean,
yeah.
As soon as the explosives were located by employees, the store was evacuated. The Maine State Police bomb squad came in to assess the situation. Yeah, they determined that they were not active grenades. It's the thing I guess you're going to buy your son to bring to school for show and tell.
If I can go to the Army-Navy store today and buy one for $20 and it ends up in my box, oh crap, and my wife just donates it to Goodwill.
But
there you go.
Who would drop off, like, inert grenades knowing that it has a look and it might be mistaken for something that's live? Because you have to, if there's a grenade, you have to assume that it might be live. Now, if I were working, knowing that you can buy these dummy grenades with the explosives out, I mean, might I be a really daring Goodwill employee and just pick it up, turn it over, and see if the bottom's hollowed out?
Props for Halloween costumes or parties or little movies people are making.
A lot of people use Goodwill donations as one of two options. It's either trash or it's getting donated. And sometimes there's a fine line between the two.
Yeah.
So you might donate some real junk.
Yeah.
You know what I didn't get to?
What's that?
Yesterday? A guy that was arrested on his birthday for whizzing on a car in St. Pete. Happy birthday.
Is that really illegal?
Yeah. Well, what do you expect? It was a guy from Texas. A guy from Texas was arrested in downtown St. Pete because he peed on somebody's car. Francisco Gonzalez, 33, of San Antonio, Texas, on his birthday, intoxicated.
What?
What a shocker. And he was intoxicated and was he was kicked out of numerous bars. Yeah, and cops finally approached him at 1:18 a.m. And this was Sunday night. Maybe it was Saturday night. Saturday night into Sunday morning, I think.
Right.
And he was kicked out of numerous bars. And cops, St. Pete police finally approached this guy, Francisco Gonzalez, near the My Rich Uncle Bar, which is on First Avenue North.
Right.
Yeah. He refused to leave the area, was arguing with security, and then apparently he was peeing on people's cars. After refusing to leave the area and arguing with security and officers, Gonzalez had asked to urinate on police cars. According to, so he said, can I pee on your cars also? Yeah. Cops then gave him a final warning to leave, and he didn't. So then Gonzalez walked. So when he talked about peeing on the police cars, they said, listen, they don't want to take the guy to jail, but the guy did everything possible to get arrested. So he talks to the cops and asks if he can pee on their cars. The cop said, get out of here. Of course, you can't pee on our. So then he walks up to a random vehicle, unzips, and pees all over the car. He's hosing the thing down. Then he continues to pee on the sidewalk in front of other patrons at the bar. What was it? My Rich Uncle Bar. You ever been there?
I have not.
I have not been to My Rich Uncle Bar.
I don't frequent the downtown St. Pete bar scene as much as I used to.
Did you ever?
I used to have a bar called the Big Catch downtown St. Pete.
Yes, they did.
And that was my jam for a little while, but that's been a long time.
The Big Catch?
The Big Catch was...
Is the Big Catch not there anymore?
No, it's like some high-rise now.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, really. Everything in downtown St. Pete's turning into a high-rise.
That was the spot, wasn't it?
That was the place, man.
Hey, you know what else I didn't get to yesterday? John Mulaney on the Saturday Night Live 3+ hour special for the the 50th anniversary of SNL. I did not get to the audio bite of John Mulaney joking about 2 SNL hosts.
We've had 800 hosts and only 2 have killed people.
Yeah. Over the course of 50 years, 894 people have hosted Saturday Night Live, and it amazes me that only 2 of them have committed murder.
So, all right, do you know who the 2 are?
I was thinking I could probably think of one.
Who are the 2?
Did OJ ever host?
Yes, OJ hosted SNL.
Okay.
Yes.
I couldn't think of another one.
One of the 2 hosts that committed murder that were on Saturday Night Live, OJ is one.
Did Phil Spector ever?
Nope, no Phil Spector.
That's what I would have thought.
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Committed murder.
Come on.
Went to did Aaron Hernandez ever
No.
Nope. I don't know.
Robert Blake. Yeah.
Oh, Robert Blake.
Yeah, Robert Blake. He had hosted Saturday Night Live. So those were the 2 individuals. And wait a minute. Oh, Andrew was saying is a third?
Who?
Oh, no. He doesn't count. So people, no, it's not. No, Andrew, in my ear, Andrew just. What
did he say?
Hang on, let me get the audio bite here. Andrew just uttered. Oh, why can't I find the audio bite? Hang on a minute.
Robert Blake killed Bonnie Lee Bakley.
Yep.
In 2001.
Yep. So Andrew was trying to. Wait a second. Where's my audio bite?
What's the point he's trying to make? I don't even know.
Hang on, I'm trying to find the audio bite of the other person that Andrew, our producer, is saying also committed murder and has hosted Saturday Night Live. All right, here it is.
No.
So a lot of people thought that Mulaney was referring to
No.
Alec Baldwin, because Alec Baldwin was at SNL. He was there. He actually introduced something. I remember seeing Alec.
He had a speaking part. Yeah.
No, that wasn't committed. That wasn't considered murder.
I didn't even think about that.
He did pull the trigger. So he says he didn't, and did shoot the what?
He obviously did pull the trigger.
Well, no, he remember the interview with George Stephanopoulos? He said I didn't pull the trigger.
No.
That's where that came from.
Yeah.
No.
Well, wasn't Robert Blake acquitted?
Yeah, well, OJ was. They both were.
Okay,
yeah,
OJ
was acquitted, and I'll tell you what's hysterical. I remember, Andrew, see if you can find that for me. Norm Macdonald, who's no longer with us. I thought he was a great Weekend Update anchor. Norm Macdonald. Do you remember when he went off on the tears about O.J. Simpson committing murder?
Is that why they fired him? Because they kind of alluded to that. I don't know why they fired Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the story on why he was fired from SNL. Andrew, were you able to find the Norm Macdonald montage of him? Do you have any of the audio of Norm Macdonald on the do you have something? All right, are you ready to play it? All right, go ahead and roll it. So,
according to retailers, the most popular Halloween mask this year is O.J. Simpson. And the most popular Halloween greeting is, I'll kill you and that guy who's bringing over your glasses. Or a trait. And the Pope came out with a book this week.
Oh, man, that's just... Is that the only one you have? All right, 'cause, man, all right, Andrew says it's 10 minutes long. All right, see if we can find a few more before I shut things down. But I just remember just laughing out loud that Norm Macdonald, who's passed away, he was just ripping OJ during this is early 90s. This
95?
Is maybe 94, 95, whatever. And, everyone knew that OJ killed Ron and Nicole. And he just every week on Weekend Update on SNL, he was just saying OJ, the murderer. He was just, and just the way that he dryly delivered it. I thought Norm Macdonald I thought he was great.
I think he was the best for the Weekend Update.
Oh, I thought he was just tremendous. Andrew, let me know if you have any more. But and then speaking of SNL, and we saw them at the Super Bowl first. Why are Kevin Costner and Pete Davidson all palling around everywhere now?
They're like lovebirds now since the Super Bowl.
What is going on? Why is Kevin Costner hanging with Pete Davidson?
Why not?
Wasn't Costner sitting next to Cher?
That too.
At the
SNL.
At SNL, yes.
Yeah.
But apparently we saw Costner sitting next to Pete Davidson. I mean, they were like talking and they were hanging at the Super Bowl. And then stories have come out. Now they're like virtually inseparable.
Yeah, they're good buddies.
Pete Davidson and Kevin Costner are great friends.
I think Pete's growing up a little bit. Kevin wants to be a little younger. Kind of works out for both of them.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Maybe.
They're both on the prowl.
They're all palling around. It's just an odd couple. So, hey, you got another Norm Macdonald murder thing for me, Andrew?
Well, this week, after a Los Angeles restaurant refused to seat him, O.J. Simpson demanded and got $500 in compensation. In addition, the restaurant must now offer separate murderer and non-murderer sections.
But it was unrelentless. I mean, it's like every week he had like a joke like that, calling OJ a murderer, and it was just the best. It's fantastic. All right, before we get out of here, hey, were you able to find some of Brian Luttrell's kid, Andrew?
Brian Luttrell, the Backstreet Boy guy?
Yeah.
What's his kid doing?
So, did you know this?
What?
I mean, it's like, what is? Are they keeping this a secret? So, the Backstreet Boys, obviously, one of the members of the Backstreet Boys, along with Howie and Nick Carter.
Didn't we see them on the Today Show?
Yeah,
like 2 or 3 days ago.
So, Brian Luttrell, he was sort of the front guy. So, Brian Luttrell. Oh, so there's no audio yet? Is there any audio?
Page 18.
Okay, so we might have some audio. Brian Luttrell from the Backstreet Boys, his son Bailey, who's 22 years old, apparently is going to be on the new season of American Idol. I didn't know this. And we have a little bit of audio. It doesn't air until March, apparently, so it doesn't air until next month.
I didn't hear about it.
Yeah, but hang on, I think we've got a little bit of his son. Let's listen. All right.
I mean, he sounds like some hillbilly.
I haven't seen American Idol in, I don't know, 15 years. It's been a while.
What, since Kelly Clarkson won?
Kelly Clarkson!
I mean, I haven't seen anything since Simon left. I mean, the Lionel Richie years, is he still host? I don't know. The country guys hosting Lionel Richie and Katie, I haven't seen any of their episodes.
Hey, the Backstreet Boy, listen, he cut that song years ago. Obviously, nothing's really happened with his career, so now he's going on American Idol.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Before you know it, he'll be doing Wayfair commercials.
You know what? Those people get paid.
Yeah.
Wayfair pays.
9:52 at the MJ Morning Show. Folks, have a wonderful Tuesday, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for the MJ Morning Show on Q105, 104.7 FM Tampa Bay. And let's be careful out there.
Sell your home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate and receive the strongest cash offer in the industry.